Hello.
Yay! Mom, hi. Aaron, hello.
Yes. First,
John, hi. Andrew, hello.
Actually, John appears
Hi,
Andrew has bested you in this one.
Oh
so
my gosh. Okay, good. We got people.
Yeah.
We got people. I have a really good idea for tonight's happy hour.
I think it's a good idea.
Let me just see if we're live on my personal Facebook too.
We'll check that.
It's super confusing, but
so many places to be live. You don't want to neglect people who showed up.
No, you really don't.
Oh, you were at the other location?
I know.
What happened?
Oh, look, we are.
It should have sent
We're
you
also
here.
live on my personal. So we're live 3 places.
Right.
So hopefully we'll
if you're
catch everyone.
tuning in to there, you might be live on my page.
Julie.
For all I know.
Lisa, hello. Lisa and Errol, hello. I'm glad to see you.
Pow.
Hey,
listen. I just wanted to say, comments. Larice, did you actually solve that issue you were having earlier with liqueurs? Because that was kind of interesting. Glad to help, but I think you might have actually nailed it. Liqueur problems are us. We can deal with such things.
Hopefully not problems.
Yeah, problems, issues, that kind of thing. Hey,
hi, Keith. Hello. And Steve, hello. Good to see you.
Hey, folks.
So here's my fun idea for tonight's happy hour. Let's hope we still think it's fun.
Yep.
In a little while.
Well,
I thought we should just look at the shaker because it has recipes on it and just go around the shaker.
What are these
making drinks?
Recipe shaker things? They made these by the
what could go wrong?
At least hundreds of thousands back in the 50s and 60s, and I think this design was really still being made up until 80s, 90s maybe. It was like a long run on them.
Okay, we're finally live on YouTube.
They're very common on
Hello,
the
YouTube people.
Secondary market. If you're checking your thrift stores or your antique places, you'll find these. They're not exactly a dime a dozen anymore, but they're not very expensive.
They're pretty much I don't know.
It's glass, and they, you wash them and they tend to break. So we've had to replace a few over the years.
Abra, hello.
This one happens to be
Michael. Hi.
At the bottom, it's got an F. That's apparently for federal glass.
Oh, and hello, Dennis.
And I like this.
Yeah. Yep. And Michael. Oh, I said Michael. Hi. Sorry. Moto. Awesome. Hi.
Hello there.
Moto Mike is here.
As he says, shake, 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 shake your booty. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
In the Middle East, in the Middle East, the guys with the turbans are actually pronounced shake, so that's why that's a joke. Boom, boom, boom. Dun, 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 dun,
shake
dun, dun.
your booty.
Yeah, and if you're suddenly thinking of whom am I thinking of? You're Frank DeVol and his orchestra. Ha! Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was a funny. Oh no,
funniest thing ever
we're interrupted.
Hope we're still live somewhere. Check out YouTube.
Okay, we're still live on my page.
Okay. What about YouTube?
No. Hold on.
How about?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Hi, Barbara.
Hello.
All right. Let us know if you can see us. It said our broadcast was interrupted.
YouTube's okay?
YouTube's okay, and Facebook on my personal page is okay, but...
Yeah, we got an interruption notice. Maybe we're good. If this conks out on you, remember that we are 2 other places. You can check her personal page.
Okay.
On Facebook.
Thank you, Devin. Devin says it only okay.
Pardon. Just a hiccup. And we're live on YouTube, and that's frequently, surprisingly, that's frequently a stable connection. So you can always switch to the YouTubes, not a problem.
The YouTubes.
Joe can see us. Oh.
The Periscopes.
Oh,
actually,
Joe.
We're not live on Periscope.
Joe is watching, which is an excellent prelude to, I really need to grab this right now. We heard today something I don't think I've really played more than once. Maybe I've never played this before, but I just grabbed it from the collection and gave it a spin, and she was like, this may be the best record of this type ever.
I have a new second favorite record. Mm-hmm. But I feel like we need a drink before we share my new second favorite record. Yeah. Nothing will ever take the place of Camp Roosevelt.
Oh,
I'm sure you've heard me talk about. Hi, Kelly.
Yep.
I'm sure you have. Oh, and Aaron, hi.
If anybody out there ever actually does find another copy of the Camp Roosevelt record,
Jeremy.
Then you will be among a very small and elite cadre who can appreciate such an item.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Camp Roosevelt is from the, I want to say 70s.
I would say about 75.
Yeah, it's a fat camp record.
It's a fat camp.
You know, when...
Today we have to be more sensitive and say, well, it's for the, the overweight children and those sort of thing. Yeah, at the time it was just a fat camp.
And hello, Locked Grooves.
It was just a fat camp,
Thank you for letting us know.
That's the non-PC way of putting it. And they, of course, had these kids on their usual regimen and probably starving to death. So what do they decide to do? What's a great thing for these kids to do? Exercises, get workouts, learn, get your CPA, that kind of stuff. No, let's make a record.
They had to have something to sell the parents at the end of the summer. So
not your little paste and crayons.
They made a record.
They grabbed a microphone and threw it out over the piano, and they made a record.
And you think like, oh, you're going to make a record? You must have a lot of really talented kids in this camp who can sing.
So you do chorus in junior high school, right? Not a one.
Nope.
Not a one.
Nope.
Even the ones who are kind of taking the lead in the solos. Very vague relationship with meter and meter, rhythm, time, pitch. Yeah, pitch.
Kelly. Oh, Jeremy says we glow in the dark.
Particularly pitch. We do glow in the dark. How about that? I believe that Mr. Hoffman is very familiar with this record by now and is very awfully fond of that version of Pinball Wizard.
Yes,
which at the time was a hit again because it was a hit on the charts from Elton John, as you recall.
Can't imagine listening to my second favorite album without a delightful beverage. Well, I can't, which is why I'm about to make a delightful beverage.
Well, I think that's an excellent shout.
Okay, so let me just... Okay.
What's the setting? We look really good tonight. If I say so myself.
You know, honestly, I didn't mess with the settings, so if we look good...
Things happened.
Oh no! All right, so the first up,
cocktail roulette
on here.
Spin the wheel. Oh,
whiskey
fortune.
Sour.
Whiskey sour.
I am going to do rye, and this version calls for 1.5 ounces of whiskey.
Well, all right then. It's a good place to start. So you happen to have a very reputable rye here with this Sazerac.
Boy, it's getting low, isn't it?
Yep. Sazerac is
1.5.
That's available most stores, most well-stocked stores I check. You know, a real hole-in-the-wall store, maybe that's tough. Right. But if you have a decent store, this does get national distribution. This is this Brown-Forman or... I'm trying to check the manufacturer here. Who's distributing Sazerac? Or is it just Sazerac Rye?
Buffalo Trace Distillery.
Buffalo Trace does the Sazerac Rye.
Yep.
It's been around now, it must be nearly 20 years this product's been on the market. And it's a really high quality rye. It's very nice. And it's a good price. A lot of rye you'll see on the market right now is really, really priced up. Why? Because there's been a real resurgence of interest in rye, and it's not a product you can crank out. You have to throw it in a barrel for a couple of years. So there's a backlog on the rye, and the price just cranks up. Even for some more ordinary blends, it's kind of high. And then there's some really schmancy stuff that's really nice.
We don't have to write down the recipe because I'm taking it off of the shaker, but let's write down that we did it.
The name.
Yeah,
so that you know.
So we can remember tomorrow.
Excellent idea. Okay. See what's happening.
And then the second ingredient is...
This is your personal page. Hello, Keith.
Yes.
From PA. Speaking of rye whiskey, PA used to be a big producer of it.
3/4 of an ounce lemon juice.
Yep.
I have lime juice.
You have lime juice.
We'll make it work.
Do I consider those interchangeable? Yeah, for most purposes, yes.
Okay, this is a 1/2 teaspoon sugar. I made simple syrup today, so I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of simple syrup.
There you go, yes. All of the classic recipes will call for sugar. They probably meant you to use powder because it will mix very easily, but it's even easier and better to just make simple syrup. Make the syrup.
Errol says his original career choice was to be a pinball wizard. He says that somehow never materialized.
I
can't imagine.
You know why, Errol? Because you didn't know where to put the cork. There you go.
All right. 1/2 teaspoon sugar.
Yep.
In my case, simple syrup.
You can make this with a lot of liqueurs for flavor variations.
You don't want to do too much.
A ginger is great. Orange is great. But the classic is just use some sugar. It's a very simple sour recipe.
That is not much. This is going to be sour. Do you have that little plate over there?
You have a little plate, couple places directly behind you.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Ding.
A charger.
The charger.
Yes. Pinball Wizard's back in a big way. Oh, is it? Oh
Pinball's back.
All right. Oh, Pinball's back.
Pinball's back.
I was like, the song? No, Pinball.
Well, if somebody covers Pinball.
Well, we live like a 2-minute drive from Rock Fantasy, which has this incredible collection of pinball machines that you can play.
Yeah.
So
the owner collects them. He has many, many more in his other location. But at Rock Fantasy, which is just downtown here, he's got a great selection of machines. You can play the Beatles. You can play Metallica. It's really cool. And he's got records.
Errol in live with Anne Margaret.
And he has paraphernalia. Let's just say that's what he has. Funny.
Plus the fluorescent.
Yeah, well, there's that factor. Cough.
I'm just using my hands to grab the eyes.
Not to mention those massive platform boots that the man had. I remember when that was a hit from Elton John, and that'll date me. And I think at the same period he did a cover of Losing the Sky with Diamonds. So
all right.
Love that
Hello,
sound.
Matthew.
Love that sound. Hey, Matt.
Jersey City. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Haven't heard from you in a while, Matt. How you doing? Down in New Orleans. Are you still in New Orleans? I mean, it's probably been a few years since I was really making that reference. So glad if you are, and glad if you are still strumming the sixth string, because that's the thing, man.
Okay.
Let us indeed. More Beatles. Yeah, I cut my teeth on them. So did you. Yeah, many people did.
20
minutes going to be a good year.
Yeah, well.
One thumb raised.
Yep.
I've already made that gag to a few people. Somebody made it on me. So.
All right, I need a cocktail glass to string this into.
A cocktail glass.
Yes.
You have some nice small cocktail glasses, if that would fit, but if you want a larger...
I think it'll fit.
Give it a try. Right, we have these... We're talking classic cocktail recipes.
Dusty?
Some of these are really small.
Are they dusty?
I think those have actually been inverted, so they're okay. Wait. Let me see here. Be right back.
So the answer is yes.
Yeah.
They are. Like a little... Okay, Matthew left New Orleans. Okay.
You left?
Yes.
Okay.
So we got that straightened out. Okay. I want my whiskey sour. I think this is going to be very sour, which is fine with me. I like sour drinks, but...
Which means it's a good idea we're letting it rest in the shaker for a second.
Yeah,
You know, for years I've really been used to shake cocktail, pour immediately, but lately I just let it hang there. And it also allows your top portion of the shaker to calm down a bit, which is nice.
Whiskey sour from the side of the glass.
Charleston. Oh, that's a lovely town as far as I recall. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
It is more sour than you would ordinarily get, but I like it.
The classic whiskey sour formula may actually veer towards like a very, very sweet tart.
I'm just enjoying seeing the conversations happen. Yeah, it's good.
I like that a lot, and of course we tend to veer.
It's very sour.
Tart. we actually tend to veer a little more sour on these things, and that also reminds me of what's that stuff? Bartender's Friend in the supermarket, the little envelopes that you would make whiskey sours out of. My mother used to do that. I believe Joe's mother and father used to do that. That's just a bunch of citric acid and sugar. And they have 5 different varieties, and it's all the same stuff with different labels. We even have a packet out there somewhere that says Mai Tai on it. It's all the same.
That's right.
That makes an extremely tart whiskey sour because of all the citric acid. But if you can do this, the thing is, it's a very familiar flavor profile. So you can't feel like, oh yeah, that's what a whiskey sour tastes like. So it's a little nostalgic for me.
Yeah, Larry says, start of a new year, time to clean all the barware and display shelves. Yeah.
Dust. Oh, seriously.
Oh, hi, Amy. Yeah, we switch out all of our barware at Christmas because we're like that.
Yep.
So the stuff that's in here, I think, is pretty clean, but these were out in the tiki room, and can't say the same.
Construction did happen over the past few months. I guess as late as October we had construction going on in there. Mm-hmm. Windows, which was a ton of dust, and then the electricity, where we had to move everything out of the way.
Yep.
It's kind of still out of the way. A few things have gone back in. So it is not ready for prime time, but neither is the room itself because it's currently at about 30 degrees.
John says Mom and Dad did indeed drink whiskey sours.
I remember Joe was telling me that. And I said, did they like squeeze limes or did they just use the packet? And he said they probably just used the packet. You know, it was easy. It was the way to go. You'd use the Glendora. That's it. Put a ton of.
It was a different time.
Ton of crushed ice, the packet, about half a cup, or probably an entire cup of whiskey, and just blend it all together, and then you have refills.
It was a different time.
Different time. You know.
Now, do you want something before we talk about this fabulous record?
I think I should probably get something.
All right. Well, what happened to the shaker? We need the shaker back.
The shaker itself. Oh, you used the shaker.
I did.
Why did you use the shaker? We need to refer to it.
Well, we can still refer to it.
We can refer to it.
We just won't use it anymore.
There we go. There we go. So I can go immediately into the second, or go this way, I suppose.
Do you?
Maybe we'll just play a roulette here. Oh, how about a Tom Collins? There's one we don't normally make.
Oh,
tall drinks.
Scotch sours were in Barbara's
Scotch
house.
sours.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. If you like Scotch, then you're just switching up the whiskey. Of course, it's easy.
Devin's been
Irish,
have a whiskey sour.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Yeah. A whiskey sour or two.
Good one.
Well, Don't make too many tall drinks around here. I'm usually inspired to make a sour type drink. Goes in that type of glass. But you can easily take the exact same thing, put it in a glass over ice, and then just fill it up with a fizz. Now, there's a fizz behind me.
Yep.
There it is. I'm going to grab the fizz.
Open carefully.
Yeah, I think I will. What if I do?
It's a new bottle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my.
Why did you do that?
Managed to press the wrong button.
Oh,
okay. So, once again, according to formula, directly here from your fine shaker, I think Barb was saying that she uses this exact item. And if you have something that looks kind of like this, but you have this exact item.
That's a perfect segue. Yep. Jeremy says, do they still print recipes on shakers? They do, actually.
I've seen it.
Different recipes.
I've even
more contemporary, but yes.
If you go to like your local Dollar Tree type place, where they'll have great prices on glassware, and since glass breaks, $1 is a really good price, right? But I've seen they have a recipe shaker. It's not as fun as this one, but it comes in different colors, and it has the formulas, and I bet they're reputable enough. I like, A, they've got like a lot of classics on here, and B, they've got the markers, so you can tell how many ounces you're pouring.
Yep.
And I've checked that out. That's actually a pretty accurate marking. It's not BS, so that's fun. So we're not normally inspired to, but what the heck, Tom Collins. Let's make this thing for real.
Devin asked about the cocktail weenies. That is going to be in Friday's episode, but we thought we might display sample it, and we might sample it too. Yeah, that's Friday's video. We're
here. We're here. Oh, absolutely.
Our little cabbage Sputnik appetizer thing.
Yep, it's sticking out like mad.
Yeah,
gotta say, big fun.
Yep.
So let's go with this thing. This actually,
Tom Collins.
No, this actually claims to shake and add ice, and I think you can build this in glass. So I think I will. Could you retrieve for me?
Normally,
no, I'll retrieve for me. I happen to have a really nice Collins style glass over here, also a chimney glass. This is from Trader Vic's. I think these were a Christmas present.
They were.
And they were fun. And if you want to build over ice, you fill with ice.
That lid is on there very well.
Yeah. Maybe I want to leave it off.
To get it off there too.
There we go.
Oh, you're using the scoop, aren't you, fancy?
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be hard to get into this narrow glass otherwise. So that's a pretty nice quantity of ice for the purpose. There we go. I'll leave a scoop for you.
Thank you.
From the top, we'll start with the sour. In this case, Tom Collins says juice of 1 lime or lemon. Now, 1 lime these days, when I get a lime, I'm probably using 2 ounces. That's a lot of juice. So let's actually adjust according to what I think that should be. Probably more like 3/4 of an ounce would be good. So we'll get that to about there, and that's about right. And there's your sour. A teaspoon of sugar. I feel like I want like more than a teaspoon of sugar. Oh, you know what? I don't want that at all, because the original Tom Collins used Old Tom gin, which is what? It's a pre-sweetened gin.
He's going off the shaker.
Yeah.
You're not doing what it says on the shaker.
I'm doing exactly what it says in terms of 2 ounces of gin. I'll see if this actually ends up not being sweet enough.
Additives.
Yeah, don't have correct additives. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. But again, this is like gin sour. The sour and the sweet. 2 ounces of the base of your gin. Since you have Old Tom, this is not only pre-sweetened and ready to go, but this is the original gin used in a Tom Collins. And, similar type Collins drinks. Put that aside.
Jeremy says, no copies of Martini Time to be found on eBay, and blames us. We got ours at Jerry's Records in Pittsburgh.
Martini Time, I think, is older than that, and I think it showed up when I was at the store, actually. But we've looked for Manhattan Time, and we didn't find it, and that ended up somewhere else. Manhattan Time is a great accompaniment to this sort of thing. Okay, stirring that up just a little bit.
Joe says, Mom and Dad used the packet. They would have one almost every night when I was allowed. When we would go to a restaurant, that was the drink they ordered. They always gave him the cherry and the sour. So, oh my gosh. It was the first drink I would make when I turned 18. Oh my gosh.
Proustian memories. That's hilarious. That's great.
I love that.
I tell you. Just like the Madeleines.
Putting the ice in the glass. Earl said he could make it fit. It might have sharp edges on the glass.
I'll make it fit.
Later, but the glass would make it in.
Glass may be in shards and dripping, but I'll make it, damn it.
It will be there.
So I'm giving that just a bit of a stir to incorporate the ingredients properly. And then, very carefully open your seltzer here.
It actually calls for club soda.
Probably calls for club soda. I think we were out. Interchangeable. Club soda is not exactly the same product. But, and I do like to have club soda around because it's got a little extra something added. But you know something? The seltzer will make an excellent drink. I didn't know
we were doing this when I went to the supermarket.
Yep. Yay!
Or I would have gotten some club soda.
You need two things for me.
Straw?
A straw and the orange bitters, please.
You are freelancing on this recipe.
Now, I'm going off of this because this doesn't really call for bitters. Although, what's in the Manhattan?
Some stuff. Yeah,
it does call for bitters.
It does. I got out the Angostura bitters.
You don't have to add bitters to this thing. This is a very simple drink, but I kind of like that. That's a little extra zazz that goes in there. Gentle stir so as not to disturb the bubbles.
Oh my gosh, Joe had to teach a bartender how to make Tom Collins. They did teach that at bartending school when I went. Yep, that's a Tom Collins.
That's a Tom Collins. This is an awfully refreshing thing.
It's a good one.
It's great on a hot day, but it's also good if you're just in a place and you want a tall drink to nurse along for a while.
Jeremy, we do have one of those, but it's missing the charger.
No, we haven't.
We do? What are we missing? We're missing something.
Nothing. The only thing that we're essentially missing is we only have one of the capsules to use it, so I can do one shot and then we're done. And we have to get some more.
That's why. I knew there was some reason. Pardon me. I'll be right back.
Haven't used it in a while, but you know something? You raise a good point. We should get the seltzer siphon going. It's a classic. I remember knowing at least a couple of people in New York City who got the seltzer delivery. There was a joint in Brooklyn who still did it.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. I'll be right back.
Please. And they would just deliver you like 12 bottles. And they were the classic heavy glass bottles. And they get refilled. To refill them, you invert them and boom, and in it goes. And, it was really great seltzer. It was just very lively. So,
the struggle.
It's real. Oh, it's real.
Hi, David. Can you make a whiskey sour taste better? You know what? You can, instead of using sugar, you could definitely use a liqueur.
That will definitely give you a flavor distinct profile. Yep. If you want to use an orange liqueur and you really go like top shelf, like a Cointreau or a Marnier, oh yeah, you'll be tasting that. If you decided to use one of the ginger liqueurs, that's a great thing to do really with the whiskey sour. Something like Barrow's Intense lives up to its name. It is intense. It really complements it well. And bitters. Add some bitters. You've got a world of bitters right now.
But I definitely...
Your garden variety Angostura will do great things with the whiskey sour.
Wise guy.
And the other thing is use a good quality whiskey.
Okay. You know? It's time for the record. Okay. Larry says a metal soda siphon. Yeah.
All right. Well, you're eagerly awaiting the record because I really think that you would appreciate this.
This has not been oversold. This was crazy.
Possibly even more than almost anybody else here. But this is a great little thing from the Surround Sound collection. That's why I own it.
Since he's working from home, he puts on records all day long.
I just play music.
And sometimes I'll just step out of my office and be like, what are you listening to?
Who is this?
And that was the case today.
And I had played, I think, side one of this yesterday, so I slept on side two today. And
that is so freaky. That cover is freaky.
It's really, really, really amazing. This I own because, in fact, is a quadraphonic style record. This is Ray Conniff, Laughter in the Rain. I'm going to pull that a little closer.
Tilt it down because otherwise it's going to be shiny.
Make sure it's not going to glare too much. Now I got to wait for this to go.
It's glaring.
Yep. I'm tilting it down. Tilting it down.
That.
I got it. See? It's already good.
Okay.
So I'm holding it like that. So here, a great cover. Here's Ray, and I don't know. He appears to be married to Marianne Mobley.
She looks like Marianne Mobley.
And then there's a kid. And the kid, it's a very strange-looking kid in this thing. Riding in the basket. Yeah, no seatbelt on this one.
The kid looks like a puppet.
Yeah, it's got
the kid looks like a dummy.
Where's Ray's left hand? I don't know. So maybe that's it. He's controlling the kid. So this is a great collection from...
And the kid's wearing a shirt that says, "Love Me."
1975, I believe this comes in at us.
Very strange.
And it's a demo record, and in fact, on the front of it, it has the stamp from the radio station. This was originally owned by WDHA-FM, Not sure where they were, but if anybody remembers, please. And this actually, I can't actually read all of the songs there. I'll have to go to the record. Has such great gems
cover.
from the period
as
the title track, Laughter in the Rain, big hit for Neil Sedaka. I Honestly Love You, big hit for Olivia Newton-John. Sundown, actually a really great version of Sundown.
Kid does look like a dummy, doesn't she, Louise?
Angie Baby, which is very, very strange in chorus.
Well, just hearing like the easy listening singers do Angie Baby is just...
It's weird. It's a creepy song. Mandy, big hit for Barry Manilow.
Okay, Moto says WDHA is in New Jersey.
New Jersey, thank you. Now, there's a man who knows his stations.
Oh my gosh, you was listening to Pinball Wizard today, Lisa.
Hey, wow.
Love it.
Awesome. Seasons in the Sun, yes. Seasons in the Sun, another downer song. Funny.
We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. Yeah, it was like that. The whole thing is like that.
Whole thing. Eres Tu was a big hit for a Spanish group around 1974, I think, in Spanish and English, as a matter of fact. Cats in the Cradle, because you couldn't possibly do a downer record without having a little bit of Harry on there.
Not allowed.
Jeez, absolutely. Feel Like Making Love. They actually get kind of funky for a second. And then You're Having My Baby, which is just weird. So
yeah, it's just...
I will tell you, Joe is a connoisseur of these things. He will tell you that like among the worst years for pop music has to be like 1974.
And it's in quad.
And it's in quad. So it completely envelops you in sound. Whoopee!
It envelops you. Yep, Terry Jacks.
Can't get away from
envelops you in freaky sound.
Terry Jack. Matt, who wrote the song? You have 10 seconds to give us the answer. 9, 8, 7, 6. And who originally performed the song? There's your big bonus point.
I just like Seasons in the Sun too, Joe. Mm-hmm. I'm with you. Paula Anka. You got it. Hi, Amy.
And that's You're Having My Baby.
Oh.
Take two.
What were we talking about? I thought it was You're Having...
Seasons in the Sun.
Oh, okay.
Actually, if we were talking about like Having My Baby, that's it. I thought you were talking about Seasons in the Sun, sir. Because you just said Terry Jacks. So you can pick up the bonus point for Seasons in the Sun. Thank you. Michael's got it. Co-written by Rob McEwen and anybody? You've got another author there. No. I'm going to throw it at you. Jacques Brel. Yeah. Funny.
Oh, I think I did know that.
Bingo. The Beach Boys guy. And the original demo of that was the Beach Boys. And they decided not to release that. So their producer was Terry Jacks. He's like, oh, yeah, I can record that. Big hit.
Yep.
Big hit. He'd already had some hits.
I love Barry Manilow, too.
Yeah,
I love Barry Manilow, Lisa.
Geez.
I love there aren't that many people I actually hate. Hey, yeah, Joe says it was one of the worst years in pop music. He was saying that today. He was saying, I got to bring this to game day and play it. And Joe will say it was the worst year in pop music.
So I'll give Matt the point because he was thinking about Having My Baby. Yeah, Paul Anka. I remember that being a huge
Matt was thinking about having your baby.
Pretty schmaltzy. Okay, now that's an interesting way. You got to check the subtitles here, and then away you go. Matt's going to have a really fun time with that one later tonight, I got to tell you.
The Wrecking Crew.
Oh, geez, yes. Everybody. I was listening to particularly this Conniff record and the percussion section. It's like they hit kind of hard for an easy listening record. And then we threw on this one, which is terrific. Percy Faith Clare, which features like the title song on that big hit for Gilbert O'Sullivan. This is 72, I think. And also features such great hits from the period as that 2001, the big funky version. And it is funky. Nights in White Satin, which was a hit again in that period. And yes, Summer Breeze and Superfly. This is possibly the best version of Superfly ever recorded. This is incredible. And yeah, it's quad.
Well,
Jesus.
second best.
Anyway, second best? I don't know. I'm kind of thinking. I was postulating that somebody plays this.
Also in quad, by the way.
Well,
in case you didn't catch that.
Yeah, well, what the heck. This is why I have these things.
Paul Anka was on The Masked Singer. Oh my gosh. I love it.
I'm just thinking somebody plays this Percy Faith or Curtis Mayfield and he's like, hey, this guy's got something going on. I don't know. Maybe he just thought it was schlock, but it's pretty amazing. Yeah, Matt, dial this up. Percy Faith Superfly. Just grab it. You can do this these days. Just go to your YouTube and check it out. Unbelievable arrangement. It's really, really great.
Crazy.
And no shade, the soundtrack version is a landmark in such things. You got two big blaxploitation soundtracks in that era. That is one of them. It's a great score. The whole thing is great.
Oh.
Absolutely recommend Superfly.
Devin, you've come to the right person. Devin's asking, how does one get into records?
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you. There's a hell a lot of a lot more ways to do it these days than used to be. My recommendation is...
Larry's the same, is Nights in White Satin Moody Blues.
Yeah. I think it actually hit the charts when originally released in 1968.
I need to interject.
Please.
David says Neil Diamond was 80 a few days ago.
Dang! That's the man. That's the man.
I was going to guess Neil Diamond, but I didn't want to be wrong.
Yep. So
I love Neil Diamond.
Oh.
And I love Barry Manilow.
Neil's classic. The great thing about Neil is he basically has 3 chords for most of his songs, and he works those 3 chords. They're really great.
I didn't know we were talking about Percy because UPS.
Sorry about that, man. But Nights was re-released for some reason in the early 70s, about 72, 73, and hit the charts really hard. It was a really big hit then. And I remember around that time hearing it in places. And later in the 70s, it was just on jukeboxes. It's a weird song to play in a jukebox because it's just this big downer song. You just want to sit there with a glass of absinthe going, yeah, oh, jeez, you know, that kind of stuff.
Well, the one that really got me today was Having My Baby. I don't think I ever really listened to that song before, and I'm listening to it going like,
okay, that's an interesting...
What the hell?
Interesting choice for a chorus.
Yeah, it was very strange to hear a chorus.
It makes a difference.
It was very weird.
Yeah, Neil is just... he's one of those guys. He came out in the middle of all of that... you know, once stuff became really progressive, he came out just as a songwriter. And like right before that singer-songwriter thing hit, so he rode that crest. Suddenly he was huge because that was the thing.
Hey, Chappie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Saw Paul Anka in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was a big writer. Yep. Big songwriter.
And if I'm not mistaken,
he's still alive.
That's another Jacques Brel item. I think it was co-written with Jacques Brel, My Way. I could be wrong. Might be a different French author, but he would have to check it. But yeah, he cut his teeth writing all these songs for everybody else, like...
See you later, Steve.
Like his buddies Carole King and Ellie Greenwich and everybody. All of these people. You know, a ton of stuff.
Oh my gosh. When Jilly was little... Wait, hold on. I gotta go back. When Jilly was little, the only thing that would keep her from crying was dancing to Forever in Blue Jeans. I love that. Oh my gosh.
You know, you gotta grab the classics when you got it. But definitely.
Oh, Mike, I think I remember that on WKRP. Carole King. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Brill Building is...
So many good comments. I'm trying to keep up, you know.
Wasn't, if I'm not mistaken, the Colony Records located in the Brill Building? Like, first floor of the Brill Building was Colony Records for something like 50 years.
No, I thought Colony was more like 48th Street.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
Brill Building, I attempted the Brill Building.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Still there. Still doing it.
Yep. Oh, I do too, John. Oh, no. Video's interrupted. Hold on.
Jeez.
Okay, are we back?
Monkeys. 2 hits for the Monkeys.
All right.
Name them now. One of them was huge and the other one was simply big.
Let us know if you can still see us, please. Facebook is coughing up a hairball.
Something is happening here, so sorry.
Yeah, Colony was 48th.
Thank you, sir. People remember the record stores.
Okay, I'm trying to decide what I want to make next off of the...
You decide. We'll actually
off of
make that sort of thing.
You know, I think I just want to do the Manhattan off of here.
Believer, thank you very much. Second hit. You remember it was less of a hit, but it was still a pretty big song. It was also like a real issue with the release of that song. So Tin Pan Alley was definitely New York City, and so was Brill. Different eras. They both performed the same exact function. They did what they were supposed to. And of course, we can't actually talk about the Brill Building without talking about the maestro of the Brill Building. Am I talking about Carole? Am I talking about Neil? Am I talking about Ellie? No.
Lieber and Stoller?
No, Lieber and Stoller, other great, part of that stable of writers. Did a ton of stuff for Atlantic Records, located in New York City. Absolutely. No. Who's the guy who made it all happen? Don Kirshner.
Oh, yeah. Well,
don't get me wrong here.
No, I'm not. Okay, so I'm making the Manhattan off of the shaker, which calls for 2 ounces of rye, 1 ounce sweet vermouth. They call it Italian vermouth here. And 2 dashes bitters. Stir with ice.
We happen to have.
Well, I will stir it because it says to.
The correct way to make Manhattan.
I am sticking to the spirit of
using
the
rye.
Shaker.
Okay, see the other song, of course, a little bit me, a little bit you. Bang. Great song. Really good song, frankly. And if you get the Neil Diamond stuff he recorded for Bang Records, also an Atlantic label, he does versions of these songs. He does a good version of Believer, actually. It was a huge hit for those four lads on the TV show because. All
right, we got, Voice and Heart. Wait, hold on, okay.
Voice and Heart, Bang.
212.
Bang.
Oh my gosh, okay, there's so much going on here. Sam Goodies.
Colony was expensive, no question. I had a number of people tell me, if you want to find something, you go there. Yeah, you'd go there, you'd find it, and then you'd take out your wallet and throw it away. Forget it, take it all.
Elvis's drummer was Ronnie Tutt, and he was Neil Diamond's drummer. I
did
not know that.
Hello.
I did not know that. Okay.
Gotcha.
That's great, though.
Yeah, and that's like the Elvis show era. Da-da-da, da-da-da, you know? Great band that was.
King Carol needs a shout-out.
King Carol! Oh, man. Now we're down to New York City record stores. There are some classics. The ones that I used to see most frequently come in on the used end. Are you ready, Mike? A, King Carol, absolutely. B, Free Being. And you remember Free Being Records? That was a real hippie store.
Where was King Carol?
That was in the 40s. I think I remember seeing the address. I probably still have a couple of King Carol labels on things that I could possibly figure that out. There was also something called Sam's Tape City, like
Sam's Tape City.
52nd Street, way west, probably 10th or 11th Avenue. And this was the place to go to get your 8-tracks and your 8-tracks fixed. This is crazy. I remember seeing a bunch of tapes from there, as a matter of fact. And how about some Woot?
So this was 2 ounces of rye, and it calls for 1 ounce of the sweet vermouth. I'm going to stick to the recipe on the shaker, but ordinarily I would not do this much vermouth.
That's a 2-to-1?
Yep.
That's quite a bit. Well, luckily you're using a really high quality sweet vermouth. We happen to have Carpano. This stuff has come out of nowhere to be a very popular item. If you have not gotten a bottle, but you happen to like Manhattans, I recommend checking out a bottle. It will cost a little more, but you'll like it.
2 dashes of bitters. So, the bitters they're talking about would be
an old-fashioned style bitter.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. Now this one says to stir, so I'm going to.
Apparently, the original bitters used were probably Abbott's.
Hi, Diana.
Which we happen to have because I made them. Don't look for them on the shelf. They're not there anymore. Stir. Why are you stirring instead of shaking? Because you don't really have to shake.
Because the glass said
so. Following the glass again.
I am following the glass. I'm sticking to the spirit of the glass.
East Village. That makes a lot of sense. Hey, Stu. Hey!
Oh,
awesome.
Thank you.
Put it to use.
Stu wore his Velveteen Lounge Kitsch-en mask.
I had to hit the post office, and I did as well. So, 2 thumbs. 1 thumb, 2 thumbs. But definitely.
Joe doesn't pay a list price.
Smart man.
Either. Okay, so.
I have done it from time to time in my life, and it was not a good idea.
I think that I could probably use a slightly bigger glass. So
I want something chilled.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
It is an excellent idea to chill a few glasses if you have a few people in the house who happen to enjoy their daily whiskey sour. So keep them in the freezer. Cold glass, very nice.
All right. Wow, look at that. There's, oh my gosh, I got to make room for the cherry.
I guess you're going to have to.
Yep, hold on, because I got to add a cherry.
Do you have your skewer?
I do not.
Okay, we get your skewer. We got skewers.
I got to displace a
little more before, terrible things happen. 69 cent. I've seen a lot of tapes and records with the price tag saying 69 cents, so that makes me think that that's where those came from.
It's still really good.
Yeah, one time, one buy. I'm trying to talk about a record buy. One day in the store, a couple of guys come in, huge box. What's it full of? 8-track tapes. I'm thinking, yeah, good luck, guys.
I'm sure Ron was like, go away.
Yeah, they're not going to buy them there. But I take a look, and about 5, 6 of these things are quad tapes. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. So I take a look at all this stuff, and it's pretty fun stuff. And I think I offered them 50 cents a shot. One of the guys is like, I don't know. And the other guy says, take the money. Because he knew they weren't going to get them anywhere else.
Take the money. Okay, so I need a cherry.
So I finally started fixing all of those, and I've been listening to some good music. That collection included the 2 tapes by the world's greatest jazz band.
Hi, Bill.
For those of you who appreciate such things.
Wait, we got to catch up. Hot August night. We had Peaches records and tapes. Oh my gosh.
Peaches.
Oh, in Cincinnati. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I think I remember hearing about Peaches. That was a pretty big chain. Yep, they were pretty huge.
Wow, okay.
Yep. In New England, we had something called Strawberries,
August
which is probably exactly like that. And I believe, John, didn't you work for Record World in New Rochelle, if I'm not mistaken? List price records. Not a good idea. Yeah.
I'm going to grab a skewer for this cherry. Okay.
Hot August Night double live album. Big deal. Definitely.
This isn't... We'll see if it's big enough.
That looks like that'll do the job. Let me get out of
right.
there.
Oh, I got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Skewered.
Whew.
Lovely.
Right. Okay.
But definitely, folks. Thanks for everybody watching on YouTube.
Hi, Cynthia. Celine.
From the Bath again.
Hello.
Really? Wow, that's great.
Bath. I love that.
Oh, lovely.
That is lovely. That's luxurious.
That's luxurious. That's very mid-century. And, you know, if you have one of those, if you just had something circulating the heat there, you could just keep going for a while. Huh, that's nice. That's right. Get one of those little bath pillows. Get somebody to keep refilling that bottle of bubbles next to you. Now you're talking. Yeah. That's
what I need.
Yeah, and those bottle of bubbles. Glass of bubbles. So.
The endless bottle. Well, I would love that, but...
If you had the bottle, you wouldn't need the glass.
That's right.
So, there's a little rock and roll for you. Harmony Hut. Where was that, Peter?
Where's Harmony Hut? And Strawberries.
Strawberries was a New England chain.
Strawberries. Oh, okay.
That was a place to play list price for cassette tapes. Not a good idea. But they, you know, I don't fault them. Like, at the time, they sold a lot of music. That was the thing. If you were hipper in New England, in Boston, you were going to joints like... I need John to help me out here. I'm kind of forgetting some of the great places.
Did we already talk about Nobody Beats the Whiz?
Oh, jeez. Now you're really digging in.
Nobody Beats the Whiz.
Yeah, the actual...
Stu worked for Harmony Hut Records. Oh my gosh.
Was that a chain or an indie store? Did they have like really great selection and stuff?
Hi,
you know, either way. Hey, Phil.
Yay.
And we can't actually talk about any of this stuff without talking about one of the real granddaddies of like the big, extremely well-stocked record chain. And really, I say this from the heart.
You do need to hail the Cabana Boy.
Saying. Gee. And you talk about
Harmony Hut was a chain in New Jersey.
In New Jersey. Okay. Towers
in Boston. Yep. Okay.
There was New York at one point had Tower, Virgin, and EMI. 3 huge, very well stocked stores, all gone. It's life. Things turn around. But I tell you, Tower was they really nailed it shut. That was the place to go.
He cut his teeth going to record stores in Boston and Providence.
Boston, Providence, and then New York. It was all these things provided different things. Boston was always very good, but Providence had a surprising density of really good stores that would turn up stuff. And you could make requests and stuff might turn up.
Amy, I was wondering, she says Newbury Comics is still around. HMV. I remember HMV in Times Square.
It's Master's Voice. The big one at Times Square was huge. And there was one on 14th Street.
Oh, okay. Matthew missed the title of the Percy album. Claire.
Just a second.
Claire.
One more time.
Aaron worked at Sam Goody. Oh my gosh. Okay, so a lot of people worked in record stores here.
The one with the hand coming down. This you can find, you should find this pretty easily in most places if you want it on a record.
That Seinfeld episode, yes.
Check it out and up on your usual sources and see if you can find it. It should not be hard to find a version of this coming up on YouTube. And you should probably be able to find an individual track, but find the whole album. I think you'd like it.
Lisa was in, I gotta share this. Peaches Records and Tapes and saw 10cc.
Wow.
Your aunt tried to get you to get the autograph, or too shy.
Too shy. Wow. Nobody else.
Wow.
I tell you.
I know, but you know, it's a sweet story, though.
Yeah.
Sam Goodies, yes. Opera, Sam Goodies. I remember Sam Goodies, and I remember Nobody Beats the Whiz.
Sam Batty.
Sam Batty.
Oh, man.
Job sucked. I'm not surprised.
I have it on good authority from the original owners of the store I worked at, that back in the day, and they're probably talking 60s, Sam Goody was the place.
Stu worked at the store in Richmond.
Yeah. Yep. Richmond. Oh, wow. Cool.
Okay.
Cool. Sam Goody, circa the 60s, 70s, would have everything and could get anything.
Yes.
And, you know, those days probably went on the wane and they just became more corporate and blah, blah, blah.
Bill on YouTube is talking about Tower. I remember Tower. I did grow up with Tower.
Tower, I believe, started out in Sacto. Just as, I don't think that they were
like a documentary,
record store.
Right?
Yeah, there's a great documentary. I saw about 3/4 of it at one point, and I need to walk the final quarter because I was like, no, we're getting to the good part.
Now you need to start over.
I think they started out as musical instruments, actually, and then moved into records and kind of went from there. They did something else and opened up a second location and then a third, and then they were opening up San Francisco location, and then they moved down to Los Angeles location, and they became the joint world of musicians went. Like Elton John would show up and buy 400 records kind of thing, you know? You know, Jimmy Page would show up. I'm looking for some records. You know, that's the kind of cool place they were. You know?
Yeah. I would go to the one in, I think it was El Toro.
El Toro.
Like when I was old enough to drive, I would go to the one in El Toro, the tower. And it was exciting for me.
Yeah.
I did go to the one on Sunset Boulevard, but...
The big
but
store.
that was not close to me.
That was the joint where all the celebs went.
Oh, Tower and Licorice. Oh my gosh, I remember Licorice Pizza. Yes,
Licorice Pizza. It's great. it's a wonderful concept.
Pizza. And the Warehouse.
Yep.
These are California, or at least the West. I don't know if they were only California, but I remember the Warehouse. I remember Licorice Pizza.
Who did we have for chains? We had Amy remembers Strawberries. It was a pretty typical chain. Not as well stocked as either Tower or Newbury. Newbury actually has always been much better stocked and had cool stuff in magazines and fanzines, you know, just all this paraphernalia stuff. I mean, usually some of these places did guitar strings, stuff like that.
Paraphernalia stuff sounds like something else.
It does. There were such stores. I used to see stores in the West Village which didn't seem to be selling any records at all. And you'd say, well, how are they staying afloat? I don't know. Yeah, well, I know how they were staying afloat. But sometimes you could get good bargains in there because they never intended to sell any records. So you might find a good thing, you know. But East Village, of course, you had the independent stores that did used. How can we forget Sounds? And if you don't have 5 or 6 records in your collection with a big pink sticker that's impossible to remove, then obviously you were shopping at Sounds, right?
Yeah, you could get. You say you could get concert tickets at Strawberries. Yes. Yeah, I think you could. House. I forget, but yeah, there you could at the stores. And
I actually found an old copy of the Free Providence paper recently from the 80s that had the names of the stores, and I was like, oh yeah, all these joints. I think there was Slipped Disc.
Hi, Johnny.
They might have been Boston too.
Wait. Okay. Oh, what? Oh, they're going by so fast.
Woohoo.
Okay, wait. Hold on. Just as Tower Records every Thanksgiving Day for a while after my divorce. Yeah, I would go there and go to the parade. Oh my gosh.
Buy a Christmas CD, Tom and John. Oh, that's a great tradition right there.
That is a wonderful tradition.
Holy Cow. Yeah, there you go. That's
Holy Cow.
That's 2 of us who remember Holy Cow. That was a great store. That was a really great store, as a matter of fact.
Bruce Johnston. Yep.
Oh, really?
Oh, there was a warehouse in New Orleans. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, Ticketron. Remember Ticketron?
My brother kept Sounds in business. I'm thinking Sounds and Free Being. I think I recall seeing some Free Being stickers on his records. And they would turn up. That was a very groovy font on Free Being. So I got to imagine that they were selling other things at Free Being and probably a lot more of those other things. And if they were not actually at the location that later became Sounds, I'd be a little surprised because they disappeared a really long time ago. But Sounds was around very, very strong and hard in the 80s. And then, of course, John remembers Sounds Classical and jazz store, separate store.
K114. What was the first record that you ever purchased?
Oh, you remember?
Purchased for okay. I was a nerdy kid. I definitely remember getting the Brady Bunch record.
The first one with Time to Change.
Yes, and I wore that record out. I loved that record, and also I remember getting in my Easter basket Beach Boys' "Endless Summer."
There you go.
So that's me. What about you?
The first record that I ever bought with my own money, which was an allowance, I'm sure at the time.
Good, he's got it.
Sam Goody got it good.
Betty's got it.
You know, even when they weren't such a great store, you probably could still get them to order stuff at Goody's. As a matter of fact, I remember they were everywhere. They were very epidemic. And they had direct competition from Nobody Beats the Wiz, who was selling records. So there was that factor that probably drove them to be better than they should have been. It's a good idea. First records I ever bought were 45s. And I recall wanting to get some Beatles records. And at the time, if you know your history behind this, when they did their big concept record, right, they didn't release any singles from it. There are no singles from the Sgt. Pepper record. But in the 70s, their label decided to do a collection called Rock and Roll Music. And it took all the rocking stuff from all the records.
Dennis's mom had Endless Summer.
Oh, yeah. Excellent. Oh, there you go, Mike.
You made me feel like dancing. I love it.
You're singing Joe's song right now, I'm telling you.
You make me feel like dancing.
I'm going to dance the night away. So to answer Kim Mom, because I don't want this thing to slip away here, is that I go out and I pick up a copy of the 45, which on side 1 has the Sgt. Pepper's, and side B has A Day in the Life. A Day in the Life on 45. Great thing for a jukebox, you know? And this was the only time it had ever been released on that Purple Capitol label. And at the same time, I remember one of the big acts around was, of course, the SNL Blues Brothers, and I pick up a copy of Rubber Biscuit.
Hi, Jamie.
With a picture sleeve. Still have this. So those were the 2 records I picked up. And I remember listening to Rubber Biscuit a lot. It was a pretty funny song. Years later, I realized it's a cover of some R&B thing, and it's this crazy damn thing.
I didn't realize we were doing 45s, but I remember, I don't remember which was first, but I distinctly remember going to Sears and getting Shadow Dancing, Andy Gibb,
Bang.
And Copacabana.
Copa.
Speaking of Barry Manilow, yeah.
Sears. That's right, Claire. Sears.
Okay, Joe says first 45 for me, Wendy.
Wendy.
Okay.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yep.
Great one.
Wait, Jamie, Jose Jimenez. Oh my gosh, the astronaut. We have that album.
We have at least one of the Jose Jimenez's. Yeah. All right, my name, Jose Jimenez. If you see the movie The Right Stuff, there's a great bit where I believe it's Al Shepard is doing Jose Jimenez. And then he gets into a little trouble because he's doing Jose Jimenez. Very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Bitches Brew. Is that the one we have on display over there?
Oh, yeah, here.
We happen to have that on display right now. I haven't heard Rubber Biscuit since...
Great record. Absolutely classic kind of thing. I think Joe's father bought this. Joe and John's father bought this record, played it once and said, okay. But, you know, that just means that you guys could pick it up later and say, oh, boy. And, yeah, this is the first one with that label on it, which is kind of cool.
The labels.
The labels. Great cover. Matty Carline, great artist. He did covers for Santana as well. He did a lot of political art. He is worth looking into.
Johnny says
Very
Coconut by Harry Nilsson.
Coconut!
His first 45. I love it.
Do we own this in quad
Shadow
as well?
Dancing.
Yes.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Rubber Biscuit. I don't think I've heard Rubber Biscuit since about, oh God.
1979 anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez. Yeah, it was...
Abra Loves Miles.
It kind of hit the charts at the time with the Blues Brothers, and they performed it on the show and everything, and it's fun. It's a funny song. The Chips is a crazy damn song. I think that's featured in the movie Mean Streets. Does this great party sequence using Rubber Biscuit. So
really?
There you go. Look that up.
Wait, I've seen Mean Streets.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a bit where they're getting the guy drunk and like he kind of ends up like horizontal. It's pretty funny.
I need to see that again.
So.
I think we lived in New Rochelle when I saw it.
Oh yeah, but definitely.
And wait, I gotta go back. Okay, these go by too fast.
Oh, I tell you, we gotta back up on you so you can grab it.
Summer vacation followed by endless school year.
Well, you know, there are 2 endless summers. There, of course,
You're right about the concept of time.
There is the Beach Boys collection, which reignites their career, and unfortunately turns them into an oldies act. They were doing a lot of great stuff right before that period. I think Mike can tell you all about that. I like a lot of that early 70s stuff. Some of it drags, but the Holland album has some good stuff, and Surf's Up. Surf's Up album is just great.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic stuff. Sunflower. That's the other one that's just pretty
Charles
cool.
Bronson and a very young, dark-haired Elizabeth Montgomery are on Twilight Zone.
Yes. Yeah. Playing a couple of post-apocalyptic characters. Awesome. Yep. And the other endless summer, of course, is a documentary.
Yes,
surfing.
Came up. You have to share Rubber Biscuit with your son.
Please.
Yes, please do.
The other day I had a cool water sandwich, and on Sunday go to meat and bun. Wow.
Which, of course, I didn't get at the time any
not a good
context.
Sunday go to meat. You ever a wish sandwich? You know, that's the thing. So, oh yeah, there we go. Confirmation. Yeah, I remember that distinctly saying, that's very cool. Coconuts. Thank you. I was trying to remember the other one. Coconuts was the one.
It's strawberries and coconuts.
Strawberries, coconuts. papaya, bananas, fruit salad. There you go. Right back to Ohana, folks. It's hilarious. I can't remember the other...
You keep talking about records. I'll make you a drink.
We didn't have a chain in town, you know. We had to like go elsewhere, like Warwick, Providence, mall stores, which were not that interesting, or, you know, the college era stores had cool stuff. I remember taking John around to the Providence stores at one point, and, you know, suitably impressed.
I'm choosing a drink for you.
There's some good things.
You keep talking records.
Okay, we can talk records.
Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, I'm going to make him a drink.
Carl and the Passions. Sail on Sailor from Holland was a huge hit. I think it was not actually recorded for Holland, so that's too bad. But
okay,
Holland has that bonus EP, which is a lot of fun. And the album Carl and the Passion's So Tough has a couple of good songs, but it also really starts to drag on the second side, so that's really unfortunate. Too bad, but you also had two of the members of The Flame were in the band at that point in time, and one of them later ended up as, can anybody name the band that one of those guys ended up in later on?
I can.
Yes, you can. I'm talking about Ricky Fattar. Yes. The Flame, of course, were the #1 band in South Africa at the time. They get picked up and put on the Beach Boys label. Their album is great. Matt, check that out.
All right. So I am making Paul a rum swizzle.
Hello.
From the side of the glass.
Oh, you will use the official formula.
And I've got a funny, well, it's not that funny, but I have a story about the rum swizzle
make room.
That I'll share in a minute.
Rightos! Matt wins.
Just keep talking.
Matt wins. The Rutless, yeah, definitely Rutless after a while. And Mike and Matt, definitely. Oh, the Iron Butterfly story. Well, it's not that much of a story, but I will say there was a point where when I was looking for records, what would you find everywhere? Everywhere, everyone had a copy, was In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. So I just kept seeing the damn thing. So I bought a copy that was nice and clean because you were supposed to, right? You know, it's a big, ponderous, stupid record, but I kind of like it, and I still kind of like it, actually. And actually, the follow-up record, Ball, is very good. Matt, check that out. And I'm increasing Matt's record collection today. Isn't he glad he tuned in? Unfortunately, your wallet is getting lighter. Sorry, man, that's just life. But, so... After a while, I kept finding these things for $1. I said, I'm just going to start picking them up. So I started collecting In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. At one point, I think you had about 10 copies.
Wait, you were collecting that too?
Well,
you're a record hoarder.
It was $1 a piece. But then I remember a couple of neighborhood kids were getting into record collecting. And they started talking to me. They're like, do you have extra copies of this? I said, yeah, I do. So I sold them each a copy for $1. You know, they're probably not the best condition, but it didn't matter. They got a great time out of those records. So there you go.
Which neighborhood kids?
I'd have to think of the names. Long time ago. I would have bought first record at Record Town in Albany.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I bet that was a pretty big deal at the time, and probably a pretty big regional chain. Fattar Brothers, Jamie. Bing, bing. Do you know that album? That album, they actually had
Peter
2 or 3 albums in South Africa.
Another Brick in the Wall on 45. It's your first record. I love it.
Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. Isn't that great?
Okay, so I am making Paul a rum swizzle.
Coming this way.
From the side of the glass.
Devin, they still do make these. I think you can find things which are very similar. You might have to go to a place like Restoration Hardware to check that out. And
you can still get them.
Look around.
You can still get them online. Now, the recipes will probably be different.
Yep.
They won't be... No one makes rum swizzles anymore. Unless you go to, like, maybe a craft cocktail bar.
Yep.
But
they'll do that for you.
But...
So, yeah, and also check the dollar store. I think Dollar Tree has decent glassware. It's actually seconds from Libby. So it's a real glass maker. And there's a shaker. There's a shaker with recipes. It's a little different. It's got more colors on it.
Cloth.
Oh, yes.
We need to...
Does it this, or is it a tall glass that gets this?
No, it says cocktail glass.
Hard Day's Rut. Cocktail glass. Okay. This is a type of
We just watched the Ruddles again recently.
Yeah, it's a really great thing to view. I'm here at the banks of the Mississippi. It's hilarious. Eric Idle really works overtime in that motion picture. Gotta say.
So this was 2 ounces of light rum. I used amber because we didn't actually have light rum. Juice of 1/2 lime and 1/2 teaspoon of simple syrup.
And there we go. Now, what distinguishes this from, say, a daiquiri?
So the recipe next to it on the glass is a daiquiri. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, literally the only difference is the rum swizzle calls for 2 ounces of rum, and the daiquiri calls for 1.5 ounces of rum. Otherwise, they are identical.
Seriously?
So, yeah.
Most other formulas for a rum swizzle call for a tall glass. So you want one of these. Thank you.
If you could dump the ice in there.
That's a good idea.
Because I want to dump the rest
of these guys, one of these, and then a swizzle stick. And you take the swizzle stick and you swizzle it. And that frosts up the glass.
Yeah, this is not how you would make a rum swizzle. I am taking it off of...
Taking it off. Take it off the clicker.
Vanilla fudge.
Oh!
Yep.
So I have a good story about that.
Oh, Julie. Oh, Julie says, after the broadcast, I have a lot to listen to. I always feel that way after these too.
You thought this whole show was going to be about the classic cocktails and the snacks. We haven't even gotten to the classic nibbles yet.
We probably should.
I guess we should. That's what we keep making these
things. I know.
So here's a story about vanilla fudge. I actually believe we own a copy of that 45 on Atco Records. And on the record, it says my cousin's name. So I believe he bought the record at the time.
Oh, okay.
And I think there's also a 45 of Sunshine of Your Love. Same label, as a matter of fact. And that was his record as well.
Stu says, I Got You by Joe Tex was one of my earliest 45s, bought with my own money.
Man.
Love it.
That's a great, great song. I believe we own that as well. It's a little chewed up. I hope
oh my gosh, Columbia House.
Yes. Yours is in better shape.
David, Columbia House.
Anybody else?
Hi, Don.
Anybody else get taken in by the Columbia House Mafia? You know?
Columbia House.
Oh, man.
I remember Columbia House.
It was that was a real come on. That was a way to actually get better ratings, I think, was that Columbia House would move a lot of records, and suddenly their records would move up the chart.
Oh, my God.
Great stuff. I still love if you can find a vintage Columbia House ad that will allow you to buy your selections on either LP, cassette, 8-track, or open reel tape.
Okay.
You choose.
I got to read Lisa's comment. We're both reading your comment.
Oh.
Wait. Secret. Leon Russell. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Wait a minute. Stop that.
Dennis got taken in by Columbia. So.
I'm sure that Leon Russell did, in fact, try to get you up on stage. That's the kind of guy he was. Hilarious.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
Take it out the clipper. Oh, Matt Yamron, this is how these broadcasts keep going because, this is...
We love it.
Look, food, booze, and music, this is how this joint keeps going. And video, because we're doing video, so of course we do video. But we do music, too. Matt, if you haven't seen our videos up on YouTube or Facebook, check it out. We've the Velvetones had by now, I think, 5 tunes we've pulled out in the past year or something like that. We've got some fun music videos. Some fun covers.
I have it on good authority that Glendora will be recording us songs soon.
Maybe.
So get ready for that.
You want to drop the recipe on Amy again, just to make sure she's got it.
So, okay. So this
rum swizzle.
This is not a legit rum swizzle.
This
recipe,
is off the clicker right here.
It's on the glass.
Take it off the clicker.
Juice of 1/2 lime, 1/2 teaspoon sugar. I probably used a little bit more. 2 ounces light rum. Shake with fine ice and strain into a cocktail glass.
You can swizz.
My ice was fine.
You can swizz many ways, but frankly, tall glass, fill it up, build in glass, use a swizzle stick, bitters.
My ice was fine.
So the story about Keep Me Hanging On, the 45. I know a guy who was about 13 years old in 1967. Actually, I knew this guy, I think when I worked with him, and as a matter of fact, I think a few people tuned in tonight were about that age. And he remembers going to a party in the fall of 67 when this was a huge hit, around the time when it got really big, and around the time when that album, which is a really good record, by the way, good album, got really huge. He went to a party where the entertainment for the entire party was a record changer, probably made by Garrard, with 145 on replay. And it just played the same record all night. This? And that was You Keep Me Hanging On by the Vanilla Fudge. And I'm thinking, that's crazy.
I still owe them for 50 8-track tapes.
You better pay up, Jamie. I hear that they will come to your house and beat you. I'm just saying. Careful, man.
I just remember, wasn't that the one in Terre Haute?
Terre Haute. Yes.
Because I remember when I was on tour in The Wizard of Oz, we played Terre Haute. And all I could think of in Terre Haute was Columbia Record and Tape Club.
So there's that. The RCA Tape Club. You see a lot of records that have that insignia on them. And then around 1979, RCA was installing quad 8-track players in luxury cars. And I have a friend.
That's so luxurious. Different quad 8-track
different friend who actually, his mother bought like a Lincoln or a Caddy, came with a quad 8 player, and he said the only tape she ever had was the demo tape. So they'd listen to that. It was probably all this stuff like Henry Mancini and quad. And there was a whole catalog of tapes, and I think they were dumping their quad 8 tapes on Ford or something. And that was the deal. It's hilarious.
Hi, John. Oh,
thank you.
Thanks
so much.
I appreciate the compliment. Thank you.
Leon's incredible. He's really incredible. He's very underappreciated. There should be a good documentary by now on him, you know?
Celine. That is a good idea.
You don't say.
Glendora singing You're So Vain. Oh. Yes. Yes.
I think you're right, Errol.
Oh, my gosh.
Undoubtedly, that's the case.
Cute. Maybe Glendora needs her own album.
Dark Side in Poughkeepsie. Haven't been yet. Should. Gotta check that out. When things cool down, you know.
Yeah.
Gotta check some places out. Yeah. We're gonna want to check these things out. I gotta tell you.
We'll be wanting to get out of the house. Just say that.
Oh, Blow by Blow. Who's that? Jeff Beck. Yeah, got that in quad too. It's a pretty cool record. And the Squeeze records. Oh, geez, there you go. Singing the song there. Dennis
got taken in by Columbia House. I just remember being a kid and like seeing it was in the middle of TV Guide or whatever, Columbia House, and you'd look at all these records and go, oh yeah, you know, and I never did it, but wow, I was so tempted. I really wanted to. I'm sure my parents were like, no.
It's a come on, because then of course you're paying list price for everything, which at the time was like $8.98 for an album. That's insane.
No, but you got them all for some. What was the catch?
You got the come on for like a penny, got you 12 or 15 albums.
But then you had to order another one.
Then you had to order like another 10 albums during the year, and it was list price.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like something
that's you're paying. Like book clubs back then.
So you're paying like about a 30% premium on albums.
Right, okay.
Jeez, you know, terrible. And they weren't regular press; they did special pressings. They're not as good, you know. Blah blah blah. I've seen,
not as good pressings.
Not as good pressings.
Like, why?
I've seen, like, we have a number of their 8-track product. They're a little, you know, little meh. So, Looney Tunes. That's another big Rhode Island thing. That's what I was thinking of.
I would not know a meh recording of an 8-track.
Bit me in the posterior.
I'm sorry, but I'm just not a connoisseur of these things. Oh, wait.
Oh, the notch. Absolutely. That's how you can tell. They're pretty hard to come by.
Yep.
And I have at least a couple that people recorded over. If I find you, that's it, man. You're dead. Seriously.
What?
People recording over 8-track tapes. Now, it's one thing. Like, it's one thing if you're recording over Montavani because you think this is slush, but like over quad 8s, oh, geez, man. Why bother? We are not on Spotify, but we can be found on YouTube and Facebook.
Well, okay. Here's the thing about Spotify. I would love for the Velvetones to be on Spotify, but most of what the Velvetones do is not original music, so we would have to get the rights.
So that'd be an issue. So we just put these things up on.
Oh, David says you could send the album back if you didn't want it. They sent you a nasty note. I hope you saved those notes.
Yeah, but if you actually bought a couple of other albums, I'm sure they'd calm down a bit. For God's sake, you're putting money in their coffers.
At Looney Tunes, I love it. Lori says, I got taken in by a couple of recipe subscription deals. Oh.
Yep.
Mine was the Fireside Theater Book Club.
Fireside Theater.
Yeah, and then you're just like, oh my God, just send me anything. I just want out of this. Mm-hmm. It's like a cult, you know. You just want out.
Look, those things were very popular back in the day because that mail order thing that worked very well. Like Reader's Digest had all of these albums you could buy via mail.
Gosh.
The Longines Symphonette did all this stuff by mail. They did really well. You know the big difference with that? Longines made really great sounding records. And if you get stuff like some of their Hapa Holly records, they're pretty cool. Definitely worth it. Otherwise, it was like big, huge box sets of Herb Alpert. Which actually, it's a good selection of Herb Alpert. That's a pretty good album. We own that one. That's pretty good.
Oh, thank you, Stu. Stu and Data's putting out another 45. Oh.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Well, maybe we will.
If anybody out there does not already own our Christmas 45,
Bill says they were members for years. Yep. Several 8-track and also 4-track. Oh my gosh. You're speaking his language.
Do you mean like the big open reels or the cartridge 4-track tapes? Now that's pretty antique. I'm not calling it antique. That's just the format is, sir. That's it.
Oh my gosh. Brother-in-law got suckered by a chess subscription.
Chess subscription? Careful. We got some chess players here. Watch out for this kind of stuff.
Gosh,
oh, boy.
Nuts. Oh my gosh. Hi, Ed.
Oh, album night. Boom.
I love that it's going to be an album night.
40th reunion. I'm suspecting a couple of things would really play big from that actual year. Perhaps The Game by Queen. Perhaps Freedom of Choice by Devo. You got some good things.
Amy, the Velvetones are not on Bandcamp yet. Yet.
Got to work on that sort of thing.
Don't forget the Nibbles. Oh, yeah, okay.
How about
about
Wild Planet B-52s? You got some great selections from 40 years ago.
John says,
hello.
This music discussion made me decide to slap on the Smithsonian Classic Jazz.
Now you're talking.
You get like a palate cleanser. Yeah.
Yep.
You went classy.
Big fun.
There's a little bit of... Is this your rum swizzle?
Cartridge open reels, yeah. The 4-track reels... Actually, the club tapes, that was the only way to get the open reel tapes for a while was from Columbia House.
Open reel. Just saying.
And they were producing them well into the 80s. I remember the last ones I remember seeing were...
this is really heavy.
Pretenders record from was Middle of the Road. I think it's Learning to Crawl. And then Born in the USA was released on open reel tape.
I'm so afraid of dropping this in a drink. Or on the computer.
Careful.
All right, I have moved it.
So here we go.
This will be on Friday's video.
The satellite has arrived. It has fallen to Earth.
Plymouth satellite.
Mm-hmm. Plymouth satellite. Faster than the speed of light. Shall we...
All right.
Hold on.
Oh my gosh. All right, dip it.
Dipping. I'm going to go with the veg, which actually belongs in veg dip, as a matter of fact.
All right.
A little tippy, too. There we go. Oh, no.
Wow. Okay, that's heavy. It weighs a ton.
It does. It's a head of cabbage.
Sputnik. Yes, Jamie is a Sputnik.
Question about the lampshade. I think you're talking this lampshade. Came from At Home, not mistaken.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yep.
I have a funny story about that. Well, it's probably not that
We had
funny.
a shade on there that was okay.
It was funny to me.
Then you found this, which is better. So, for the price, it was a no-brainer. At Home is some pretty good stuff if you have one locally.
So, if you have a chain, there's a chain called At Home. And I saw that in the store and I thought, like, wow, I really want it. Didn't buy it. So we talked about it later. And I was like, yeah, go back and get that. So I went back. And this store is so weird. And I know it's a chain, so if you have one that's different from this, please let me know. But a couple of times we've gone in there, and checking out of this store is like being in a Sartre play. You get in line.
You know which one, too.
And wait. And
anyway,
wait. And there's maybe one person in front of you, and you wait for like an hour. And... I finally was able to pay for that. But then the next time we went in there, I waited so long, I just left. And it's been like that every time subsequently. So anyway, we got it at home.
At home.
We got it at home. But dang, I haven't been in there since because it's nuts.
And this is...
You can't pay.
This is the home of all the really cool Christmas trees around that time of year.
Yes.
They get in the big pink tree, the big rainbow tree, the big black tree for all you goth people out there, the big turquoise tree. People. It's just like, you want an ordinary green Christmas tree? They got it. You want pre-lit, you want pre-lit with garland lights, whatever. But they've got the big pink tree. It's so cool.
Yep. But it was nuts. Like, oh.
Okay. Oh, David had the double 8 and recorder.
Wow.
Player recorder and double 8.
Gosh. Wow. Okay.
I was thinking about one of those Akai machines that had an open reel and an 8-track, so you could make tapes to your car.
And Bill says cartridge and open reels.
Oh yeah, you probably one of those Akai players. Yeah, or Roberts. Same thing.
Roberts.
I think it was an Akai 800 was the machine that had both.
I'm falling behind.
Cool. It's a big, heavy, cool machine. As a matter of fact.
Oh my gosh. Julie, I would love to see that.
Oh, please. Yeah. Big fun. That might be a little familiar.
Yes, opera at home is overwhelming.
It's pretty huge.
And they sent me a catalog because my birthday's coming up, and it was like, oh, by the way, here's 15% off, and I'm like, should I go in there again?
Should I?
Like, it scares me. I went in there. It was like 11 a.m. on a Tuesday, and still, I got in line and waited, and there was one person ahead of me, and it was taking them like 45 minutes to check out, so I left. Like, how do these people stay in business?
It makes you wonder.
Yes, and then, like, they've got all this great stuff, so it's kind of like a bad dream. You put all this great stuff in your cart, and you get up there, and you can't check out.
Can't check out. Can't check out.
What?
The Sartre store.
It really is.
And you sit there with your head in your hands, and you say, "Je t'aime, je t'aime." Yeah.
I don't know if it was je t'aime.
No, it was something we can't.
Je hate.
You can't say on the air. That's for sure. Jeebus, but yeah, it was a strange experience. I gotta tell you. It's hard to wish on space hardware. I'm thinking of a Plymouth satellite myself, which we just watched.
Oh my gosh!
We just watched the movie Shaft's Big Score. The second movie just picked that up, and it arrived early, so we slapped it on last night for movie night. And I got to tell you, that is very cool. We've loved the first film for years, but the sequel is very great. And he's got a car. He rides the subway in the first picture.
We're all like, what is his car?
What is his car? It's a Plymouth Satellite.
Plymouth Satellite Sebring Plus.
Sebring. This thing looks for the world like a Challenger. And it is very souped up. And at one point, he's got there's a gal who's been hanging out with the creepy guy who slaps her around, and she decides to get the hell away from him.
Oh my God, Chaz.
And he puts her behind the wheel, and she's driving the thing, and she's pretty hot stuff.
Hi, Chaz, by the way. Oh my gosh.
Hey,
okay, you got to read this and decide whether you...
Oh.
I feel like you have to. Yeah, I feel like you have to. Chaz has a great comment.
Oh, man.
You got to read that because that's on my personal Facebook, so people probably aren't seeing it, and it is worth seeing.
Okay, so Chaz, we're going to read this too. The folks are taking a look at the other page on Facebook. And all the folks watching on YouTube, thank you. I appreciate the folks on YouTube as well. Absolutely. Chaz says, I was held hostage by Scientologists for 6+ hours. I bet that's a pretty heavy lean on the plus, like more like 10 hours. One night in 1983, after taking a personality test in a college psychology class. In a college class?
College? What?
Oh, that's so underhanded. They probably infiltrated institutes of higher learning. Had to go to the Dynetics Research Center to get the results months later. Oh, why'd you go? Oh, terrible.
Well, he didn't know.
He didn't know. I had to throw a chair through a window to get out of their church. My interviewer followed me to a bar where I knew a bouncer, and the bouncer beat him up. Yeah, good. Sorry, pal.
Oh my God!
Called me weekly for 3+ years and would drive by my house at least once a week.
Oh.
Will you people please go away? So my story with that was when I was in Europe. This is going back a good solid 30 years anyway. Every single city,
Sandra.
Every single city you visit in Europe, you'd see the Scientology Center. They were everywhere. And in the UK, when I was there, at one point somebody asked me, "Would you like to take a personality test?" Sure, what the hell? I go in and I take this stupid test, and then they show you the video. And 10 minutes into this video, I realize what this is, and I say, okay. And I look around, and the door's open, so I just walked out. I guess I was lucky. But, sometimes you have to actually do these things to realize what the hell it is and get the hell out of there.
Somebody probably got in trouble for leaving the door open.
Yeah, and didn't get any of my money either.
Wait, where's the glass? We're working our way around the glass.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Sandra. I sprayed my hair up. Mm-hmm. Higher the hair, the closer to God. That's right. Mm-hmm. Amen. Can I get
Speaking of a B-52, right. I think you're working it there.
Okay,
I'm going to grab myself one of these guys.
Still working my way around the glass. I think I'm going to do the Alexander. I'm excited about this one. All right. I need a shaker, though. Please.
Oh, coming your way.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, don't watch the video.
Okay, yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go back.
Video.
You gotta go back and read the comments while I shake.
Shake your booty.
Speaking of shaking your booty.
Yeah, I don't think they were going to appreciate Braxton. He was on a different wavelength, shall we say.
Ice.
Oh, definitely. Oh, I got to get the ice. There we go.
Okay. What, a vacuum cleaner salesman and he could brandish his chef's knife. What? Oh my gosh.
Bye.
Wow.
Be right back, folks.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do.
All right. Devin, oh my gosh. Okay. Weirdest bookstore ever. Oh my gosh, Devin. I'm just catching up on comments here. Wow. They kept asking me if I wanted to watch a video. I was like, no, thank you. Love that. I love that. No, thank you. I'm good. They made you watch Chaz, they made you watch a movie with Karen Blacks. Oh, no. Oh, no. Wow. Okay. Now they're going to come after us because we're talking about Scientology. Leah Remini is going to have to come interview us. Errol says they wouldn't have gotten any of his money because they didn't have any. Yeah, I know that feeling. Well, Leah Remini. Yep. I read her book. It was good. All right. I'm going to make next the Alexander as soon as Paul brings some ice back. And you normally hear about the brandy Alexander, but this is the Alexander, which features gin. We got a lovely bottle of gin recently from Smuggler's Notch in Vermont. This arrived in our mail one day, and it was very welcome. So, like, can you hear him doing the ice? It's really loud, but I'm just going to start anyway. So the Alexander starts with 1.5 ounces of gin. All right. 1.5 ounces of gin. If you see Smuggler's Notch, it's lovely. I don't know if they have distribution outside of New England, but it's really, I have to line up the label. Otherwise, I won't be able to sleep at night. Thank you.
Chill that a little bit, please.
I would love to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
There. Sticky. Here.
Yes, Cloris Leachman died.
Oh
my gosh.
I tell you. I would sit there
her.
saying terrible. By the same token, she hit 94.
She was 94.
It's a good run.
Yes.
It's a good run. So, got to say, she left behind a nice trail.
She really did. I feel like we needed to watch High Anxiety.
Oh,
maybe we should watch High Anxiety later. Okay. So, Alexander. 1.5 ounces of gin.
You already mentioned the torturing Jehovah's Witnesses.
I did not, but
yeah, they keep calling me. And I know they're calling me because it's a local number.
So this calls for 1 ounce of creme de cacao. I'm using chocolate liqueur.
Yep.
Because it is of a higher quality than the creme de cacao that we have.
Yep. Yes, we can actually say it now. Anybody know why that's a good joke?
Apparently it doesn't really mental it.
Yes, it is.
That was the quote in the obit. Anyway. And the half and half. I need the half and half.
What? Oh yeah, they wouldn't have gotten any of my money at the time when I was like hanging out in this for about an hour because I didn't have any. What do you want? Like £2? Okay, great. Here you go. Bye.
I'll give you £2 if you'll go away.
I'll give you guys nothing. Goodbye.
Okay. So
they got my attention for a second. By the way, that documentary stinks. It's truly terrible.
Which one?
The Scientology documentary. It tells you all about how like L. Ron Hubbard wrote the book.
No, I was going to say, seriously. Like, Going Clear is a really good documentary.
Going Clear is an excellent documentary. Watch that.
But anyway.
And then there's the show that, who is doing this now? The show about ex-Scientologist, Leah Remini. Yeah. Who was taken in by this stuff for years because her family got into it.
Well, it was her family. That was really on them more than her.
She was a kid. She didn't know, but then like when she got out of it, they give her a lot of grace.
So, the Alexander, 1.5 ounces of gin, 1 ounce creme de cacao, 1 ounce sweet cream. Shake with fine ice. My ice is fine.
Oh, that's totally fine.
Strain into a cocktail.
And strain.
Oh, the Netflix one is. I haven't seen it. Okay.
Kiss Me Deadly. Yeah. I wonder if someone's going to whip that one out. What's a great, great picture with Ralph Bellamy, who later turns up in Rosemary's Baby. Isn't that great?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Connection there.
Okay.
You know,
right.
Thriller pictures, horror pictures, and I think that there you go. I kind of think that High Anxiety is one of the great thriller pictures there too. So it all works together.
But she's just so unhinged and High Anxiety.
She's seriously gone, Daddy. And of course, Kiss Me Deadly. It's a small role. I think she gets killed early on in the thing, but the rest of the picture, a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Okay. The Alexander. So good.
So this is an Alexander. We're thinking to ourselves, normally...
Devin, I love your plan. That's hilarious.
Normally this thing is a brandy drink, but this is not called a brandy Alexander. It's called an Alexander. So I guess the original was potentially a gin drink. Here we go.
It's really good.
Ooh, dessert. That's lovely.
It is.
That's very nice after dinner. I would go for one of those.
You can have some, or I can make you one.
Brandy would do just fine in that drink. It's interesting because, of course, the first episode of Mary Tyler Moore, featuring Cloris Leachman,
Brandy Alexander.
She's in her boss's office. He's like, "Would you like a drink?" And she's just like, "Oh yeah, you know, Brandy Alexander." He just gives her this look. And it's
I literally have none of that.
It's a great look, I got to tell you. And then, of course, their anchor man is very fond of creme de menthe frappe. Oh, jeez. I tell you, these things. Young Frankenstein.
Devin, it is very reminiscent of a mudslide.
It is very mudslide, as a matter of fact. A bushwhacker. Yeah, got a lot of bushwhacker action going on there. No ice cream in there, though, and it's not a tall drink, and it doesn't have a straw. So
I didn't use a blender.
As a cocktail-sized thing, it actually gets quite frothy with the, the half and half in there.
Quite frothy.
Yeah, a lot of those flavors going on.
Yep.
That's a nice chocolate profile, but you used a really nice chocolate liqueur.
Yeah.
So.
It's good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's good. It's good.
Super desserty.
Desserty.
Would you like something else?
Well, I'm not quite yet done, but I'm working on it.
Okay. You had bonus bits.
I did have some bonus bits. Thank you very much. So.
Did you?
Oh, those ran for years. I remember they were really heavy, and they must have bought a lot of cheap ad time around 1984 because suddenly it was all about the book Dietetics.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Good grief,
Yes, Lori, it is reminiscent of a pink squirrel.
Mm.
You are correct.
That's why I needed the Noya. Yes, that's an excellent thing.
Oh my gosh, yes, Chaz, William Castle.
Bingo. Yes.
Yep.
He wanted to direct the picture, and I believe it's Paramount that makes this picture, decided, we don't want you to direct this movie. And they were probably thinking about his usual product. He was trying to be a higher profile director.
Yep.
But as a producer, he's like, okay, fine. So they recommend this hotshot young director called Polanski. He at that point had done a really fun picture called Fearless Vampire Killers, worth your time, and a really great art picture called Knife in the Water, worth your time. But that's about it. Nobody in Polanski. Oh, and Repulsion. Repulsion is a really, really creepy picture. Definitely put it on your Halloween list. That Catherine Deneuve, who was a very disturbed young woman in this picture. Really, some of this stuff kind of foreshadows what happens in Rosemary's. But then he gets this big Hollywood picture, and he does it really straightforward. They did not have any permission to shoot in the actual Dakota building. So all of that is Hollywood interiors.
Which is so funny because
it looks
they did a great job.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been in the Dakota, but it looks like one of those huge, late 19th century New York apartment buildings. 14-room apartments, that kind of stuff. Wow. Very cool. Very well done. Yep. Yes, Mr. Costavet.
I love Rosemary's Baby.
Every Halloween, got to put it on. Great score, Chris Comeda.
Yep.
Definitely.
Repulsion is part of his trilogy.
Bing.
His Rosemary's Baby. Oh,
Bing.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, really creepy. And then, of course, some very unfortunate things happened. And he reacted to that by making a version of Macbeth, which... Oh, did I say that out loud? Ah! But that apparently is a very bloody Macbeth. Haven't seen it, but a bloody play.
Saying it.
Bloody play became a pretty bloody movie. So
keep saying it.
Recommend that you all get a copy of the Rosemary soundtrack. It's got some really great music and a couple of like good pop tunes thrown in for good measure. And worth seeing the movie again, just because.
Which one?
Rosemary's.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We're on to horror pictures now. We just did that not very long ago.
It comes back to horror pictures.
No, it comes back to horror pictures, doesn't it? But, just fantastic ensemble all down the line. And Cassavetes plays a real creep, and he does it well. Definitely. So we're...
He really does.
I'm thinking of other things to say about music. Oh, I don't know. Whatever. I need something. This was lovely, but like a lot of Nick and Nora cocktails, it goes down.
Maybe that's my favorite Billy's.
Quickly?
I just keep thinking of, hop tail or stalls, buckle, make amends.
Don't say that.
Say what?
The name of the play.
The Scottish play. Oh, what the Scottish play you mean? Macbeth? Hop tail or stalls, buckle, make amends.
Little Blackadder for you.
Little Blackadder for you, yeah.
Mr. Slackbladder, but fake fun. Fake fun. What haven't we made on this thing anyway?
We have not made the martini.
That's not a drink to end the night with?
We have also not made the daiquiri, which is
That's what
half ounce less of
basically what I just had.
We could grab out another shaker.
I tell you what.
Or you could take this and I'll make me a daiquiri.
I tell you what. I will make a daiquiri according to instructions.
Oh, he's going to make a daiquiri. The struggle.
The struggle is, it's something anyway. Might be real, might be fake. I don't know. Juice of half a lime. Coming your way, friends. So let's see here. I have my pony in my shot.
Well, you are right.
He made a really terrific picture around 1960. Is that called Shadows, John? I'm totally spacing the name of it. Has a great jazz score. I think it's like...
you can share this with
me. I think
me.
Charles Mingus did the score to that picture. It's completely improvised.
This is super desserty. If you want to share this with me, you can.
Oh, sure. Glad to.
Let me take it, actually. I love it. It's good, but it is very sweet.
And actually, it's an interesting experiment. It doesn't always work, but parts of it work very, very well. And then, of course, people who riffed off of that, like, let's see, Robert Altman, made a lot of pictures where pretty much the entire thing was improvised. And if you get a good ensemble, it works well. I'm going to clean this out and be right back.
All right. What are you making?
Daiquiri.
I don't want a daiquiri.
You want a daiquiri?
No.
Well, that's what's on the shaker.
I know.
You want a martini?
He's asking if I want a martini. I kind of want a martini more than a daiquiri. I've had so much sweet
Would you like to make the martini on the shaker?
So sweet. John says yes.
Shadows. Intriguing picture.
Yep, shadow. Okay, shadows. Yep. Shadows.
Here we go. Right. Then The Woman on the Verge, I think you saw and you recommend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Lisa's mom wouldn't let her see Rosemary's Baby.
Oh.
I got to see The Exorcist.
What?
The
hell?
Okay.
The Rosemary's is...
Yes, I agree with you. Like
psychological warfare is psychological creepy. It really works on your nerves. But Exorcist is just shock value.
But I'm just also thinking like...
Friedkin, man, he did that.
Exorcist involves a girl and like, I don't know. But that's just funny.
Something about that. We're going to go with this.
Oh, Devin made a big pot of tea and it's almost down.
Oh my.
Aww.
What are we going to do? All right, daiquiri, juice of half a lime. That's about...
He's making a daiquiri.
I'm going to call that half an ounce because your average lime in that period of time would have been about an ounce worth.
Right.
Half teaspoon of sugar will actually go with the simple that I have behind me here because it's easier to mix. Simple syrup is very easy to make. You don't have to buy it. It's just sugar and water, folks. I'm going to use an entire bar spoon of that because the last time this came out a little tart. I think this will work fine.
All right. Well, trusting you.
Now this takes 1.5 ounces of the rum. Not a really huge change from that rum swizzle.
Satellite, hi!
Oh, hey, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh.
It's good to see you.
Lori's had a Black Russian and Dennis had 2 martinis.
Wow, really?
I love it.
So now's the time to ask him about that thing that you want to purchase because he's not going to care, is he? Nah,
I always get that title and Rock Hudson's Seconds mixed to my head.
Oh, Seconds. Oh, man. That's another one. Another really creepy one. And isn't that Friedkin? Am I wrong? Or is that Schlesinger? It's one of those guys did Seconds. I've never seen Seconds. It looks so creepy. It's about a guy who's basically getting like a life change by getting a whole body change. So he becomes a new person. But a lot of really freaky operational scenes. And I think it's actually the same guy who did Manchurian Candidate, which would be Frankenheimer.
Yes.
It's Frankenheimer. Yeah, and he did that. Wow.
Look, you did that after a couple of drinks.
Yeah. I'm still standing. Think about that thing. You know? I get better. I'm like Jim
Ignatowski?
No. No, thinking of Johnny Fever.
Fever. Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
But it could be Jim Ignatowski, too. I'm just saying.
Well, there's a really funny episode of the show where Jim Ignatowski...
Oh, my gosh. Chaz brought up Stepford Wives. I love Stepford Wives.
Yep.
Love Stepford Wives.
I'm not going to start going on a tangent about the movie Targets. Also a really great picture in its own right. But Seconds we really need to see. 1.5 ounces of the rum. We happen to have our light rum right here. It's actually calling itself dark rum. It's
Amber rum.
It's not really.
It's not dark.
It's not really.
Not dark.
There we go.
So which one are you doing? Daiquiri.
Daiquiri.
I already added that.
Mm-hmm. I
did. Okay.
Shake with ice, strain to a cocktail glass.
Are you doing anything weird to it?
Here's what I'm going to do. I think any good daiquiri could benefit from orange bitters. So I'm adding them.
Kevin says, I was once engaged to a White Russian who wouldn't drink White Russians because he joked he wasn't into cannibalism. That was great.
Very funny.
And John says, I saw a doc on Casfetti's. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love his comments.
I think he does have that effect on his viewers.
Dano, hello.
Hey, Dano. Cherry bourbon. Boy.
Enjoy a big screen VLK. Oh my gosh.
Increasing numbers of people.
Chromecast. Ooh.
Increasing number of people are watching us on a really huge screen with Chromecast. I'm glad you can comment because apparently you can't really comment directly, so I guess you got to be on this broadcast too.
Johnny Fever. Errol likes Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo. I like Johnny Bravo. He's an idiot, but I like him. But, large screen. Are we on a really huge screen? We remember being on a really huge screen behind the bar in Bethesda, Maryland.
Oh, my gosh.
Over at House of Fung Lin because, we were the, sponsored guests. And we weren't sponsored, but we were the honored guests.
We were the guests.
We were the guests. Guests of honor.
It was fun.
And we just showed up and saw people. And there was, somebody put together a reel of our episodes, which is showing them either on this. It was like a 60-inch TV.
Screen.
It was really hilarious.
Ooh,
yeah. Hello.
Gotta do something about the lighting. Yep.
Hello. Hilarious.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Don't mind if I do.
I think I am caught up. Johnny Fever.
All right. So that's what goes into a daiquiri. According to Shaker. Juice of half a lime, I'm calling it half an ounce, half teaspoon of sugar. You can use sugar syrup. I used a whole teaspoon. 1.5 ounces of the light rum, shake with fine ice. I'm just using what I had. It's ice.
You know what? I'm going to take one for the team after this.
Just doing the shake.
All right.
Now, I am actually going to do something a little different here.
What are you doing?
I don't have one of those glasses, so I'm going to grab one of these glasses.
You need a more, yep.
Large cocktail. And here's the thing. I think this is a perfectly fine cocktail and will work well, but it's basically exactly what I just had. And since I'm not that crazy about repeating myself, I'm going to strain into a cocktail glass.
Ah! Don't splash me. Oh, you're going to topper it, aren't you?
Looks a little lonely, doesn't it? We will try this first.
Here, you got to finish this.
Perfectly.
It's super sweet.
Perfectly reasonable daiquiri. No question about that. Easy to make it. Yep. If you make that exactly as I stated, but you also add some grenadine and Bacardi, that's the Bacardi cocktail.
Lori's, every once in a while, I edit on the 50-inch screen. Wow. I have never done that.
And I'm going to fill with some hard cider.
I think that will help. That's a little, I like the swizzle better. That's a little unbalanced. Wow. That has built up some pressure.
This has been fermenting for a while because this is actually cider that I added a little yeast to make it happen. Yeah. Oh, that really wants to blow. We're going to let that go for a second. Vent a little CO2.
It's gonna blow.
Gotta be careful because this really wants to fizz over. It's just like a bottle of seltzer.
Just like a bottle of seltzer.
If you go to your local cider mill and they will sell you a bottle of cider, it's probably not pasteurized, and you just let it sit there and it will take care of itself. If the stuff has preservatives in it, then you have to actually then you have to go and add some yeast to it.
You cannot give that kind of advice. Don't listen to him.
Oh, don't listen to me.
Our attorneys disavow this information.
We are not actually currently retaining counsel.
Shut up.
That's much better.
If you try any of his ideas,
right now, it's not a bad. It's a great daiquiri to start with, but I happen to like topping that with some seltzer.
We didn't suggest it.
Here's a kicker: you can also top that with commercially available hard seltzer, like I have here. Happens to be a can of Original Sin Black Widow, which happens to have some
much better idea.
Blackberry flavor to it. A lot of fun. This is a New York brand, 6% ABV. Very nice. We had this recently. It's great. Great stuff.
We had it recently. What haven't we had recently?
I don't know.
All right.
I need to finish this?
You do, because I'm thinking that, Satellite just made a Gibson. All right, well, that is a perfect segue.
Segue to our next item here. A Gibson is a martini with no olive, but an onion. There you go. That's your Gibson.
So, we've been working our way around the glass this evening, and the only cocktail we have not made so far is a martini.
The only.
I am a completist. Well, I will make the martini.
Damn it, I'm going to make the martini. I like to start, not end the evening with a martini, but if handed a martini, I will enjoy it.
This calls for a twist of lemon peel. What?
Do we have lemons?
No, we do not.
Oh.
We're going to use olives.
A twist of lemon or an olive is generally the idea. After all, that's how the man wrote the book.
But it is a stir,
That's a classic gag about how the man wrote the book. Hey, give me a martini, will you, Joe? What do you want, olive or twist?
If you don't mind, I would love another shaker tin and strainer, please. Thank you. I won't necessarily finish it this evening, but who am I kidding? I'll just finish it and wake up late tomorrow. Whatever. Okay.
Oh, hey, John's quoting Wings of Desire. Vim Vendors. There's a thing.
So
I saw that in an art cinema in the day, and it's a little long, so get some coffee.
Is this clean?
Clean enough.
Whew. All right. Oh, there's ice. Okay, awesome.
Yes, there is.
Thank you.
So, hard to imagine Peter Falk as anyone but Columbo. The movie makes a gag about that. Pretty funny.
All right. So, I'm going to stir because it calls for that. I'm going to start with 2 ounces of gin.
That's a good place to start. Still using the Vermont product.
This is lovely.
It's actually a very nice
Smuggler's
gin.
Notch.
Yep. If you're driving through Vermont, and you can spend a few hours driving through Vermont, you will pass a number of distilleries. And if you pass Smuggler's Notch, I bet they'll give you some nice samples and sell you some good product.
It's also available if you're in New Hampshire at the New Hampshire State Liquor Store.
Mm-hmm.
So, 2 ounces of gin. Do you have the olives?
We can get
them in the other refrigerator.
Would you like the small olives?
Well, it calls... No, I don't care which olives I have, honestly. Okay. I could probably use the nutrition in a stuffed olive. Not gonna lie. Okay.
And yes, that was a little joke about it.
About what? 2 ounces of gin. And... Oh, yeah, that was an Oliver Twist joke. Okay, so I need the dry remove.
Yes.
It also calls for 1 ounce of, what do they call it? They call it dry. Okay, they do call it dry remove. Mm-hmm. This is not the proportions I would use to make myself a martini, but I am following the glass.
Is that 2 to 1?
Yes.
That's a classic martini formula, and it probably makes more sense when you're using a 100 proof gin. Today, most of your gin is coming in at 80 proof, so you probably want to dial back the vermouth.
This will be a little whiny for my taste.
Whiny?
But that's okay.
Wino?
It's all in fun. Pardon me.
You don't say.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Whew. Okay. Stirring.
Stir.
It calls for stirring, not shaking.
You put that in it.
I did not.
Just wanted to note that there, folks. Make it happen, make it happen.
Don't mind me. I've had a number of
funny.
This evening.
Gin and rum. Ah! Well,
it would have been funny if you would have let me just pour it out, because there would have been nothing. And that would have been hilarious.
I am not here to make gags at your expense. But I will tell you when you might have missed something that you want.
Well, you're the first person to make gags at my expense. So, whatever. That would have been really fun.
Hey, Yumi. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Much well.
Okay.
Much wonderful.
All right.
All right. So, you know what your weakness is, Lisa, so you will not go there. But you will go to the other gin works, hey?
Good night, Jamie.
Oh, please. Thank you so much for joining us. So good to see you. You know, it is, we're actually working on 2 hours here, so it's practically time for us to go together. But the fact is, you're still here, so we're still entertaining. Me, I get to wake up in the morning and go to my office, which is actually
Lisa,
right here.
I have heard that about tequila from other people, so I'm fascinated by that. Okay.
Oh, boy.
I love that.
I've heard people say that about gin.
Okay, so anyway, 2 ounces gin.
At the end of the day,
1 ounce.
They're both aromatic liquors, and, you know.
All right. And there's extra.
Bonus bits.
Pouring it in here.
Gotta love it.
And we have now gone around the shaker and made every recipe on this shaker glass.
Good grief. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drinks tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Hello.
That's crazy.
Still going.
But we did it.
I like this background here with all the stars.
That's last week's background.
It makes me think about the satellites. Mm-hmm.
Aww.
Yep. The Plymouth satellites. I always thought a Plymouth satellite was a big old man car, but no, it's a big sporty thing.
Well, that's what Shaft drove.
Yeah.
In Shaft's big
now that you take a look and you say, that's a Plymouth satellite, the thing looks like a Challenger. Wow. And
that was cool.
And he puts the gal behind the wheel. Can you drive this thing? And she's just like, bang, man.
She's like, I can drive that.
She can work a 5-speed. Wow. I mean, and they're getting chased and shot at. Yeah, yeah. Shaft's big score. You want to see this picture? We're talking about all these quality motion pictures. I'm talking about some adventure picture. This is a fun picture.
Shaft's big score is good.
It's a really, really good picture. Gordon Parks, apparently had a big falling out with Isaac Hayes, so there's no Isaac Hayes in the second picture. So who scored the picture? Gordon Parks.
Gordon Parks.
Apparently a musician, so he just went with it. It's actually got some great touches.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
There's some great New York locations, like Manhattan and Queens, and there's like this fantastic apartment, and the hood who's in there plays clarinet. It's like, what the hell? This is a different kind of a picture. There's still plenty of action.
Well, the gal's apartment is the best.
This is very cool.
She has purple wall-to-wall carpeting. Yeah, so good.
So John is only in his third Dogfish Head. Come on, man! Catch up! Drink that six-pack.
Amy, I'm with you. I love tequila, but I get that a lot of people don't. I get it.
In some cases, it is simply a youthful experience with 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila. I don't remember the 4th tequila. And that's the problem. So, but that could equally well apply to 1 whiskey, 2 whiskey, 3 whiskey, 4.
John's only on his third Dogfish Head.
I should switch down to beer myself. That's very true. But the fact is, with some people, it was a useful experience with something that's more liqueur-like. And if that is peppermint flavored, oh.
Oh, what? Oh, no, what?
Yeah, we're talking about bad experiences, and that's just going to turn you off to it.
No.
If it happens to be a liquor, it's going to have the same effect. And that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. If you can't drink tequila,
Alma says floor.
Yep, you said it.
You win.
Yep. Won that one. Won that round.
Melissa, wait, hold on.
Hello.
Today's your 10-year anniversary.
Big 10?
Say, oh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Hey, a little NA shout out. Well, we have a good relation with New Hampshire. Among other things.
My whole family lives in New Hampshire.
So we have a reason to be there.
Yeah.
If they didn't live there, but we had happened to know the state, because my sister lives in New Hampshire, so we got a lot of people in the state there.
All of our family members live in New Hampshire.
Immediate family members live in the dang state.
Strange, but
if we didn't actually have that connection, we would still remember there's such a thing as state liquor stores. Now that is another reason to be there.
New Hampshire is very cool.
Gotta tell you.
And happy anniversary.
Happy 10 to you. That's marvelous. Yes. That's marvelous. That's
happy
good stuff.
Happy anniversary. That's awesome.
Glad that you enjoyed these broadcasts. We just put a few things together. We've talked a little bit about liquor.
I was so excited that I thought about doing the glass, but we need to look at other glasses and see if there's another cocktail trail to follow.
The other glass will probably have the same cocktails on it.
Exactly.
I got to put on my mustache and a cigar. So the other glass is going to have the same cocktails.
You know what? We do have one. I got to find it. I'm not going to find it right now, but we do have one. That one of the recipes is wine.
Wine. If you need a recipe to make wine, to pour wine.
Now, it didn't give you the instructions to make wine. It was just pour.
Pour wine.
Okay.
All right then, folks. I got to tell you.
Alrighty.
So I'm going to try this martini here. That's quite good. And I enjoy them drier than that, and you enjoy them a lot drier than that.
But I'm still enjoying it.
Okay,
and that's the key.
Yes, definitely. Melissa, state liquor stores. Okay, here's the caveat on that. It depends where you are. In New Hampshire, where they're actually serving up like a really rounded portfolio. They have a lot of great stuff and a lot of local stuff.
New Hampshire liquor store rocks.
They're really promoting a lot of stuff from New Hampshire, Vermont, and Massachusetts, even like some pretty local liquors. And they also have like really great bargains and and like the sale rack where it's like we got to get rid of this stuff. So you can do pretty well there. But you go to a state liquor store in Pennsylvania, the selection is terrible. I don't know what it is.
I have not been in a state liquor store in Pennsylvania in a decade. So
maybe they've improved.
I don't want to.
Anybody here from PA want to illuminate me about how they've improved? Because I wish they would. Because we can access that very easily, and that would be very cool.
I don't want to say anything, but when we were in one in Pennsylvania, it kind of sucked.
It was kind of terrible. And the simple fact is we can drive an equal distance to go to New Jersey, where after a certain point, you can find supermarket liquor stores, and that is almost as good. Yeah.
I just thought of something.
Yeah.
We are about... Hi, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
We are about 10 minutes from the New Jersey border, but we never drive to the New Jersey border. Maybe we need to figure out the whole New Jersey border thing. Because when we drive to New Jersey, we usually go the throughway. We go kind of out of our way. And go to known liquor stores.
We can go there more quickly.
I think, like, maybe if we went... Can you imagine if we went 20 minutes and we found, like, this incredible liquor store? I'm just saying.
Funny things could happen. The fact is that we're actually... If you go straight south, you will actually smack into the state. And you know there's a little joint there that's been there for like 40 years.
We're literally, like, maybe a 15-minute drive from New Jersey.
It's not that far.
But we have never... In the almost 18 years we lived here, never crossed New Jersey.
That way. We can go west on the big highway, get to Pennsylvania.
Which I realize just makes
east on the big highway and then swing around and get into like Paramus. But
oh, Lisa,
thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
look, I try to post cool stuff in there.
Thank you.
You post good stuff in there regularly. I think a lot of habitués of the VIP Lounge will put fun stuff in there, and I love you for keeping the conversation going. There's some really great things that are being dropped on. Amy's dropped a few things in there recently.
Yes.
There's some great stuff about liquors. That thing about the Hendrix. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Gotta tell you. So if you're not currently a member of the VIP Lounge, just drop us a line. There's a little questionnaire to get you in.
The state liquor store in Utah is so sad. I have no doubt.
You don't say.
I have no doubt that that's very sad.
You don't say. Man. By the same token, if you wanted to get like a pretty good, head on going in Salt Lake City, it could happen. Yeah.
I always thought Utah was all about the prescription pills.
Yeah, no liquor at all, but the medication.
I don't know.
And Dan, South is good. Well, that really depends on where you are in the South. A lot of these counties are dry, but I believe that you know where to find things, Dan.
Oh my gosh. All these kind comments about the VIP room. Thank you.
Please.
Appreciate it. I really want to try the new Hendrix, too.
Yeah, now you really got us going because one of our locals anyway, they've got it. And we could talk to our gal in the store, and I think she would hip us to these things. Mm-hmm. From time to time, we were able to procure some promotional material. That's always nice.
How you feeling about the Mai Kai? Aaron, I'm leaning into their message where they said they want to preserve the legacy. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel about the Mai Kai. Because I love the Mai Kai.
Marvelous place.
Mai Kai is a treasure. And I'm just going to trust what they say. Mm-hmm. That they want to preserve the legacy because it would be an enormous loss.
The family
I'm going to trust their latest message.
The family specifically states that they want to continue what they're doing.
Yes.
With the joint. They have management, which is non-family, which has been working with the place for a long time and is extremely dedicated to it. We know some of these people. Very good idea. They are continuing a long legacy that stretches all the way back to Don Beach in Los Angeles. So this is very important. Some of these guys obviously have worked in Trader Vic locations. This is very important. The place itself was not unique in its day, but currently is kind of unique because among the only ones left. You have a couple of places in the country that even look like that.
Devin's asking about the Mai Kai. The Mai Kai is really like, it's a restaurant. At its core, it's a restaurant, but they have a
restaurant bar,
Polynesian show, and an incredible tiki bar. But really, like, they have gardens outside that you can walk through and everything. And it really is just, it's kind of like an adult tiki Disneyland. I don't even know what else to say. It's very, very, very cool.
The family that started this wanted to do a Don Beach Trader Vic style location.
Yes.
in Florida,
in Fort Lauderdale.
in Florida, which actually has like plenty of locales with palm trees and looks perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
And they managed to poach a couple of bartenders who would work at these other locations and make that happen. And they managed to borrow the idea of the Chinese ovens. That is extremely important. That means that they can make Trader Vic's style food, and it's really fantastic.
So good.
The food service is unique and good. You go there for that because you're not doing that at home.
Yes, Devin, we did do an episode there once
Yes, we did.
Million years ago with our old camera. I want to do a new one.
8 or 9 years. It's been a while,
Yeah,
but you can still find it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
definitely-
everyone's sharing the links.
Micah,
so
Micah,
thank
Micah.
you. Yeah. It does
Listen,
need a major renovation.
Currently, I think there's about 3 places in the country that even look like that. And one of them is your Maikai. The other one is the Kowloon in Saugus, Massachusetts.
Well, Kowloon does not look like it. To be honest,
Kowloon has like a ton of stuff and does have locations.
Kowloon is very cool.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like the Maikai.
It's sort of the northeast location version of that.
Kowloon is
also the second largest restaurant in the United States. The family is not interested in continuing operations, so if you want to buy the Kowloon, talk to them, you know.
Kowloon is so cool because it's got the whole rigging, like the ship's rigging. That is very, very cool.
They have tiki.
And the sunken bar.
They have tiki. They have nautical. They have 5 different cuisines. They have the sports bar, the comedy club. They're really making a place that can actually exist as such. I got to credit them. It's an incredible location. And the third place I would say is actually Trader Vic's Emeryville. Still looks like it's supposed to.
Yes, Kowloon apparently is like, it's not close to closing, but yeah, it's on that path.
Kowloon will take some time.
Jade Island.
Oh, Jade Island.
Jade Island is probably the last place we were at before
all of this business. It is the last remaining old school New York City tiki joint.
Yes.
All the rest are gone.
But Otto's is hanging in there.
All the rest are gone.
We love Otto's.
Otto's is not an old school tiki joint.
It's not old school, but it is a tiki joint in New York City.
It is one of the neo joints, and
we love them.
They do it well, and they do it very well, actually.
I feel like they've been around long enough. We don't have to call them neo.
Well, they haven't been around for 50 years. Like
no, but
Jade
they've been
Island.
around for a good while.
Jade Island is a neighborhood joint, but they have very good food and they have very good drinks. So I got to credit them that.
Saying I love Otto's.
Yes, it's going to take a time for Kowloon to close. So if anybody out there plays that Powerball and wins big and wants to buy a tiki bar,
love Kowloon.
Think about it. There's one person I can think of who would do it in a minute. I wish he would win the Powerball.
And if you win the Powerball and you buy Kowloon, also buy the Red Roof Inn next door and create a pathway between the two. Because when we went to Kowloon and stayed at the Red Roof Inn, you had to kind of like leap over the guardrail and walk along the highway for a second.
It was a little frozen.
Yeah.
As I recall.
So maybe just make a path. I'm full of business ideas. Just hit me up. I got a million of them.
There are places that I would make happen. There are places that I would ensure would go on forever. Oh, please go to
Marathon. Oh my gosh. Okay.
If you need a little help with any sort of structural stuff, Dan, let us know.
Oh my gosh.
You've actually had some very good advice about our equipment around here. I appreciate that.
Zombie Hut. We have been to Zombie Hut.
Yeah.
Okay. When I first moved to New York, I lived like a couple of blocks from Zombie Hut, which wasn't there.
Nope. Not at the time.
I would have stayed in Brooklyn if I'd known Zombie Hut.
Zombie Hut was there.
Yeah.
I tell you.
We love Zombie Hut.
Yeah.
Zombie Hut is fun.
It's a good place. They have games in the back. Is Joe still watching?
Kontiki. Oh, I love Kontiki. We have been to Kontiki a number of times.
We were there as recently as 2019 when we had to do a little business out that direction.
Yep.
Actually, it was in the Phoenix area, but we trucked south.
Oh, I will drive.
Go
to Tucson to go to Kontiki.
At those highway speeds, it's only 2 hours. You know, it really doesn't take long, but Kontiki is a real oasis in the middle of Tucson.
Yes.
And really, we were there years ago when the food and drink was, well, it was okay. And then
they upgraded.
And then in recent years, they have completely ramped up.
Have.
And now it's just like, wow, they have good drinks, they have good food, they have mugs. You want to go there. It's a very cool, old school joint. So definitely worth your time.
So the last time we were at Kontiki was in October of 2019. And we decided, like, oh, heck, let's throw caution to the wind. Let's drive the desert road back to Phoenix.
Yeah, we did.
And, wow. You get outside of suburban Tucson and there is nothing until you get to suburban
You get outside
Phoenix.
of what we would call cell phone service. And it's
you really do.
It's kind of fun. Kind of funny.
It was hilarious. I'm glad we did it. I am really glad we did it. But, man, that was crazy.
Oh, Matt lived in Brooklyn. Really? When did you live? When did you live there? Zombie Hut was actually between Brooklyn Heights and Carroll Gardens is where it is.
Zombie Hut.
Yeah.
It's just right there on Smith Street.
Okay. Yeah.
That is very close to where I lived. I would have hung out there if I'd known it was there. But it wasn't there when I moved there.
When I was there, we had a local bar that was actually a great local bar, but it was a beer bar. That's the best I could do at the time.
Beer bar.
Nobody did tiki at the time. Well, years later, things happened. And actually, at the time that I was living in Brooklyn, there was no longer such a thing as Hawaii Kai. Wah, 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 wah. Damn it. But we have their cookbook, so we can make those drinks.
See, no one was calling it Gowanus when we lived there.
No.
Yeah. Gowanus was just something you didn't mention. That's where people dump bodies.
I wouldn't actually call Tiki Zombie Hut Gowanus as much as where I lived was Gowanus. Yeah.
But
I think Gowanus is totally going up.
I think now you do. Yeah, like Gowanus was scary back then.
Oh, the Undertow is closed? Okay.
Wait.
Sad to hear, but
No, they're moving. They're moving. Yeah, no, I followed them.
Honestly, their location was problematic, but they did it very well. So I'm glad they're finding a better location.
I just remember when we went to Undertow and you make your reservation and it's for 90 minutes and they will throw you out after 90 minutes. That was funny. But
in 90 minutes, you can do very well.
That's so okay. We were loaded after 90 minutes.
Matt was in 87. Oh, the Verrazano Bridge. Oh, wow.
Oh,
geez. You're talking Saturday Night Fever territory, my friend. Yep. Hello. Do. Bang. In that period of time, we were there at that time. Why didn't we cross paths? What's your problem, man? I don't know. Listen, we can cross paths now. This is the fact.
Oh.
They dredged the Gowanus Canal. What did they find? How many bodies? Did they find Hoffa?
Keep reading up.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
Yeah, places that call themselves tiki and there's no tiki. Like, what?
Yeah. But definitely. So,
I think moving to a place with more capacity is a good idea for Undertow, for sure.
Because our capacity was about 15, so that it couldn't hurt to get to a larger audience.
Gowanus had roaming packs of dogs in the 90s. I think we met one of those dogs.
I think that's what you're referring to, my friend. Yeah, we met the pack of hounds of the Baskervilles.
They finally dredged the Gowanus
the police.
Canal. I like mine with a twist.
I tell you, like I said, did they find Hoffa's body? Seriously.
Doug, hi.
Hello.
Oh my God, Doug is here. Oh.
Urban Tiki and Mary are actually firmly ensconced around Danbury. Vic. They're on the lake. It's really cool.
Adore Urban Tiki and Mary. Chitador.
Oh, yeah, look, seriously, he's got what you're talking about. He's got great cocktails. He got great hi-fi. He's got a great spread, and they do it well. It's very cool. And by the way, if you're actually at one of these things,
and we're saying this on a video, so everyone who's never met them is gonna be like, "Hi, I heard you have a great place."
Yeah, just gonna show up and say, "Could you take care of us?" Who are you?
Yeah.
Bye.
But Urban Tiki and Mary rock.
Very happy. Really the last time we were there.
Yep. Okay, Urban Tiki is opening a second location in Gilbert.
Gilbert.
Okay, I read that they were opening.
Hello. Bikini Lounge.
You know, Chaz, I want to go to Bikini Lounge just because of what you're saying. It sounds amazing.
The last time we were in Pittsburgh, somebody recommended a dive bar. We went. It was a hell of a lot of fun. It was
awesome.
It was a lot of fun. And it was very close to our hotel, so that was great.
Well, and the funny thing is, the people who recommended the bar that we went to, I think it was called Kelly's Lounge, actually. In
You're right.
Pittsburgh. Were the people at Hidden Harbor, which is an amazing tiki bar in Pittsburgh. But people are like, if you wanted a little after hours action, go there. And it was right by our hotel. We could walk. And it was really fun. And the drinks were horrible. But it didn't matter because the decor was amazing.
They were not the worst I've ever had.
Yeah, it was great.
That's saying quite a bit.
It was great.
And our hotel had what was calling itself like a whiskey bar. It looked really great. Like you could just hang out there all night.
Yeah. Oh. I feel like we needed another day.
We went to the dive bar. The dive bar was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
Dive bars are usually fun. Gotta say.
You wake up the next morning, you're like, yeah, 10 more minutes.
So.
All right. Oh my gosh, we've been live for over 2 hours.
I guess it's been a pretty good night. We've had some great conversations about a little food, a little drink, a little mid-century nibbles, a little mid-century drinks. Off the clicker. There we go. That's the guy right there. You even have bonus martini in there. Hello.
Oh, well, top me up, Buttercup.
Well, what am I waiting for?
Thank you.
Finally, the shaker gets to go into the dishwasher. Away we go.
Gotta go watch some Netflix.
That's life in the big city. I, in fact, am out, so I need to figure something else out. Oh, my. But it's been a fantastic evening, and we've talked a lot about music.
We made it through the shaker, didn't we?
We made it through all 7 drinks on the shaker. I've got to tell you, that's been pretty cool.
That's
We
crazy.
talked a lot about food, drink. You're going to find all the drinks tomorrow if you are a patron. If you are not a patron and you would like to be a patron, then you will find us on patreon.com/Velveteen-Lounge.
Lisa. Okay, Lisa, wait. Okay, Lisa gave me a great segue. Boo-hoo, signing off. We are thinking of doing more live videos, so let us know what day is good.
Yeah. If we can figure out when you might be watching, we can plan this so it works. Because
okay, and also, P.S. Save the date, February 13th. My birthday is actually February 14th, but that's Valentine's Day. So we were thinking that people might be busy on Valentine's Day. So we're going to go live on February 13th, which is a Saturday.
Bing.
So please save the day.
But let us know when you would like to see us another day of the week. There's always brunch on Sundays, which was popular when we did it. I don't know. We'll see what it works.
It was fun, but
it's all an experiment.
We were loaded.
It's all an experiment.
All right.
Unlike now.
But
what I was saying before was
February 13th.
If you're not currently sponsoring us on Patreon, patreon.com/Velveteen-Lounge. There are levels starting at $5 a month. That's great.
Yes.
We'll take care of you. You get special goodies that nobody else gets. If you are currently sponsoring us, thank you very much. If you're not, but you want to see all the recipes, you'll see one tomorrow.
Yes.
And that's it. We'll also see you on Saturday for Glennie. On Friday for
bad boy.
This big bad boy over there will make a fantastic appearance.
Oh my gosh. I made a... Okay, all right.
Yeah, you're good. And we talked a lot about music tonight, which was pretty impromptu. If you're wondering about
super fun.
All of that stuff, just drop us a line in a PM. We can recall everything. We know what it is. So, fantastic.
I'm catching up. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
But, satellite, thank you. Okay, Auburn says Saturdays would be good. Okay.
You want to vote for that? Glad to hear it.
Okay, I love it. Thank you.
Let's find some things.
So, my birthday's on Sunday, so I feel like everyone's going to be like, happy birthday on the 13th. And my birthday's actually the 14th, but you probably have plans.
We know that you might have plans for things and might have been planned for a long time.
So,
despite all.
We will celebrate early.
We'll make it early. Easy on you.
But I like Saturday. Saturday's good.
It's a good day for that sort of thing.
So.
We can buy a bottle or two of bubbles and have a lot of fun with that kind of thing. Bubbly drinks all night.
I expect to be woken up on my birthday with a bottle of bubbles.
Well, that's a pretty good way to go, and it's a Saturday.
Just saying.
Folks, thanks so much for joining us here at our little location. I hope we've put a little joy back in your lives. And if you're doing great already, we just added more joy. So we will see you again in no time. We'll certainly see you again for a live episode in 1 week's time. Any suggestions or ideas?
Yes, please do send ideas. We love them. Yep. Friday is this baby. Glendora will be here on the weekend with her new business venture.
And Glendora's new show happening on Instagram if you're not subscribed.
Yeah, if you're not on Instagram.
Yep.
Cousin Glendora.
Yep.
But anyway.
Thank you all for joining us. We've had a lot of fun via 7 cocktails.
I had a great time.
I'm doing pretty well. If you would like to enjoy these things, check it out tomorrow. Personal messages, we'll answer everything. And as always, we will see you